All right, everyone, welcome back here to Weather on the Go, all your weather coverage. And in today's weather forecast live stream, we are going to be talking about the potential for more significant severe weather again today on Thursday, May 9th. The severe weather train continues, and we're going to be talking about an enhanced risk of severe weather today from Dallas, Fort Worth, Texas, all the way over towards Atlanta, Georgia, and Savannah, Georgia, and southern South Carolina. So come on in, everybody. Come on in and like the live stream if you are here. Subscribe to the channel if you are here. Come on in. We're waiting for more people to join. Thank you so much for joining here this Thursday morning. I really do appreciate it. Yes, we do have a potential for a derecho today, and we are waiting on the newest outlook from the Storm Prediction Center literally within the next few minutes here. So the Storm Prediction Center is likely to issue their new outlook here at 11:30 this morning. That will be literally in the next few minutes. While we wait for that, okay, so we're going to wait for the newest data. This is the latest data that we have from the Storm Prediction Center. While we wait for that new outlook to come out here at 11:30, which is 7 minutes past now, let me see if it's updated yet. And yes, it's not updated yet. While we wait for that, we will go over the latest tornado warning. We do have a tornado warning today for portions of Georgia here. So let's look at that real quick. And again, thank you all for joining here on this wonderful Thursday. I'm going to take the outlook off here just real quick for you folks because we're going to go look at this warning over here in Georgia. We have a tornado warning ongoing here in portions of Georgia here. So this is a radar indicated tornado warning north of Americus into western Georgia. This is a storm that is definitely something to watch as we move forward here. The velocity is very weak on this storm, so there's no tornado on the ground, thankfully, with this, but we do have the potential for a tornado as there is a tornado warning for the next 15 minutes here. Areas impacted here will be the Buena Vista area, Ellaville, all the way over here toward Oglethorpe, Andersonville, Putnam, over here to Fountainville, La Crosse, Pennington, Drainville, Andersonville National Historic Area, and also Friendship, Clearview. All these folks over here into west central Georgia need to be on high alert. This is north of Americus, Georgia, and this is going to be crossing over Highway 19 over the next few minutes. There is no tornado on the ground currently. We want to make that clear, but there is a chance that a tornado could develop from that storm. So again, we are going to be going over a live forecast here in just a few minutes as the Storm Prediction Center is now just about minutes away here from releasing their newest day one convective outlook. It was scheduled for 11:30 this morning, and that will actually be coming up here in the next few minutes. So we'll keep an eye out for that. If you guys are here, make sure to press the like button, all 192 of you. Thank you so much. The more likes we get, the more people who are engaged with our weather forecast. Thank you so much. Again, my name is Hunter here with Weather on the Go, and we're going to be giving you a live forecast for everybody in the risk area for severe weather today. So make sure, if you are here, smash that like button and subscribe. We are on the road to 100,000 subscribers here today on this channel. So if you want to help me out in getting to that goal, make sure to help out with pressing the like button and so forth. I appreciate it. Hey Tracy, how you doing? Hi Blondie as well. Hello to Moo and Michelle and Nick. Angel, thanks for joining. Real Time Storms, thanks for joining. Taylor Smoot, thanks for joining. Chris, thank you for joining as well. Appreciate all you guys joining here. Sheridan, thanks for joining. A lot of great people in here today. Appreciate it. All right. We're still waiting on the new outlook here from the Storm Prediction Center. All right, so let's go over some of these warnings right now currently that we do have on the board across the radar here today so far with the severe weather that's ongoing. And when I see there's a new outlook from the Storm Prediction Center, we will go right over the new data. We'll go over the timing of the storms of when you can expect them. We'll answer questions and we'll roll on here with the live stream. So again, thank you all for joining. Make sure again, before I get into the warnings here, press the like button, subscribe. Really appreciate it. All right, so we do have a tornado warning here. Again, we are keeping a close eye on. No tornado on the ground, but there is a little bit of weak rotation here to the north of Americus, Georgia. Okay, so and then further east toward the Cochrane area, over here towards Eastman and Dublin, into portions of central or middle Georgia, as we call it over here. We do have some 60-mile-per-hour winds and some quarter-size hail. So we'll be keeping a very close eye on that storm. Also, another strong storm over here into East Georgia as well. We're going to turn over to the new radar site over here to look at this one. This is for Millen, Georgia. This is also a storm for 60-mile-per-hour wind. And if we put the motion on this storm, this is heading right toward the Millen area. So if you live in Millen, Georgia, you guys are definitely going to be impacted by some 60-mile-per-hour winds over the next 5 minutes. Moving now into the Carolinas. We're in South Carolina here, south of Orangeburg and north of Walterboro. We have a severe thunderstorm warning for 70-mile-per-hour wind. This is a considerable severe thunderstorm warning tag on this storm. So we have 70-mile-per-hour wind and a tornado possible tag on this as well. Very robust storm that just moving through the Branchville, South Carolina region. If you are in Harleyville or Ridgeville or down here toward Walterboro, get ready. You're going to have a pretty strong storm over the next, say, 10-20 minutes. So we're going to see that storm continue to move off towards portions of southern South Carolina. Further off to the west, our friends over here in Texas, we have a severe thunderstorm warning near Wichita Falls region. So let's zoom in here. Let's look at this as well. This is the new storm development. Very robust thunderstorms over here so far. This is a considerable thunderstorm warning, severe thunderstorm warning for lime-size hail, folks. We have 2-inch diameter hail here. This does include the hail core. It is basically just to the north and west of Archer City and west of Scotland, Texas. All right, and areas that are in this warning box include the entire city of Wichita Falls, Texas, and up there toward Henrietta. So if you live in Henrietta or Wichita Falls, Texas, we do have currently a damaging hailstorm ongoing here with potentially 2-inch lime-sized hail. You guys know what a lime looks like, right? Yeah, that's how big the hailstones are over here in toward portions south of Wichita Falls, and that may be moving up into your vicinity very soon. Also, very strong storm here near Graham, Texas, and Newcastle up toward Olney. This does not have a warning on it currently, but I would not be surprised if this started to produce a damaging hailstorm or a windstorm as well here very soon. We'll keep a very, very close eye on that storm. If you are in the Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex, you guys are A-okay for now. We will keep a very close eye on these storms, though, over the next little bit here while we are live for the Dallas-Fort Worth area. We'll keep a very close eye on it here. All right, let's see here. Still haven't not issued the new outlook yet. Let me see if it should be coming out here in the next few minutes, though. Okay, that was 8:30 this morning. Okay, so we're still waiting, folks. We're still waiting on the new outlook from the Storm Prediction Center. Typically when they do take this long, there is a couple things that is happening here. Okay. So my hunch is that one of two things are happening here. So the outlook was scheduled for day one from the Storm Prediction Center at 11:30. It is almost halfway to noon now, right? It's 11:44, 11:45 in the morning. They're 15 minutes behind on their scheduled outlook. My guess is one of two things here. They're either upgrading to a moderate risk, a level 4 out of 5 across the southeast, or they are kind of assessing the situation and maybe shrinking the enhanced risk or something along those lines, or kind of refining those areas. Okay, so that's what we're looking at here today. There is the potential for a moderate risk upgrade today, as there is actually a chance of a derecho depending on what happens with the storm action this afternoon. And we're going to go over all the data here once we get the new outlook from the Storm Prediction Center. So until then, we're going to go over the warnings again multiple times here. We're going to go back to this tornado warning here into portions of western Georgia. I appreciate everybody being here. Yeah, we got a big cluster of storms here in Georgia as well. In areas that don't see the severe weather, we still have some pretty decent rain. We had a lot of storms move through the Atlanta metro area earlier on today, and that is actually now moving through. We still have a couple showers moving through Roswell, Atlanta, and Athens, Georgia so far. And even some storms back here into Alabama. So you can see some bigger storms in and around the Montgomery region. So we're keeping a very close eye on our friends over here in Alabama as well. Yeah, no problem, guys. Yeah, this is why we go live, to alert you guys and inform you guys about the severe weather. So thank you all for joining. I appreciate it. Again, if you are here, make sure to smash that like button and subscribe here. Again, we are doing daily weather forecasts right here on this channel. We did a video this morning. If you haven't seen it, make sure to go watch it. Give it a like. Appreciate it. A lot of great information on there, including Mother's Day weekend and what happens next week. And if you think May is not going to be busy for the next couple weeks, well, the severe weather threat may start to decrease after tomorrow on Friday. The rainfall is definitely not slowing down. We have a very active May that is still going to be unleashed across the U.S. We have a lot of rain, a lot of thunderstorm activity, some isolated severe weather events over the next week or so. But thankfully, the way I see it now, after Friday, after tomorrow, May 10th, right? Mother's Day weekend, while we could have some rounds of showers and storms across the country, I do think that the severe weather, the significant severe weather events we've been seeing the last few days, are going to take a little bit of a lull. They're going to start to decrease, okay? That is good news. We don't like to see that. It is May, though. We'll keep a very close eye on that. I do think, though, late May and into early June, we'll get very active again. So mark my words, folks. I think late May, early June, we'll start to see more severe weather and significance again. So while we do have another break coming up into the middle of the month, I think we're going to ramp back up again towards the end of the month, as we are still in an ENSO neutral phase. So if you guys don't know about that, there's three phases. We have El Nino, we have ENSO neutral, and we have La Nina. Currently, we are in an ENSO neutral stage right now. Okay, we're just exiting out of El Nino. We had an El Nino winter this past winter, and now as we are in spring, we are in ENSO new. The first half of spring so far was actually a weak El Nino spring, and now we are in an ENSO neutral phase of climate. So that means as we go through the rest of May and into early June, as we're in ENSO neutral, that will make the atmosphere more primed for significant severe weather, much like we see today and like we saw the past few days. And as we switch to a weak La Nina, as we get into the fall months, that will transition more towards the Midwest, the Ohio Valley, and the Northeast with more severe weather. So that is what we see with that. The Climate Prediction Center is actually releasing their new probabilities for that actually today. I'm not sure if they have released that yet. But we will definitely provide that in a video very, very soon. That is for sure. All right, looks like the Storm Prediction Center has upgraded, or it's not upgraded, have updated. They have updated their outlook for today. So we're going to look at that here in just a minute. So once that loads in, we'll look at it in just a minute. Okay, so we're still looking at this tornado warning here just north of Americus into western Georgia. And again, we'll look at the velocity signature on this storm again, just to make sure the storm is not producing a tornado. And right now it's not, but there is a little bit of some weak rotation there just to the north of Americus. We're keeping a very close eye on this here. And the rotation would be right between Americus and Ellaville. All right, so that's what we're keeping an eye on. You see that little hook here trying to develop, that little notch. That tornado would be sitting just to the south of Ellaville here and moving to the east into Georgia. So we'll keep a very, very close eye on that storm as we go through the next few minutes here while we're waiting for the new, all the updates here coming across the screen here shortly. Let's see. I was kind of hoping they would have the update on here already, but they do not. So we're waiting. And we're still waiting. Let's see. Where's everybody watching from today? You guys watching from Georgia, Alabama? What state are you guys watching from? What city are you guys watching from? I want to know. We got a new warning over here as well, over into Texas. So while you guys are telling me where you guys are watching from, we got a new warning. This is for a very large supercell near Graham, Texas here. Considerable severe thunderstorm warning tag on this for golf ball size hail and 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts. If you live near Graham and up toward Bryson and Jacksboro, you are in that warning for potentially up to golf ball size hail and 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts. All right, let's see here. We got Auburn, Alabama. I see Panama City, Florida. Cool. Thanks for joining, Bruno. Let's see here. Angel coming in with Jacksonville, Arkansas. I see Rhonda Brown with Greensboro, North Carolina. Thanks for joining. Douglas, Wisconsin, just cool here. Hey, take it while you have it, man, because I guarantee you, once we get into the summer months, it's going to start to heat up there in Wisconsin. So take the cool weather while you can this time of year. Just an absolute bonus this time of year. Kylie Duke coming in with the Camden County, Georgia. Yeah, we'll be watching you in Georgia there with this potential for severe weather. Everybody in Georgia, be on high alert today for severe weather potential. Clara coming in Kentucky. Bartlett, Illinois for Sue. Thanks for joining. Shirlene coming in with the Louisville, Kentucky. So you guys had severe weather up there in Louisville the other day, or at least a potential of severe weather. Hopefully you guys are all safe up there. And you guys, for Louisville, you guys don't have any more severe weather, so that is good, at least for the next several days. I see a couple people in here from Dallas, Texas. Yeah, if you're in Dallas, Texas, make sure you want to be on high alert today. If you are in any of the surrounding areas, Plano, Denton, McKinney, over towards Sulphur Springs, Gainesville, you guys all want to be on high alert today for the potential of some damaging storms. We already have those damaging hailstorms over here already producing anywhere from 2-inch lime-size hail up toward Wichita Falls to near Graham, Texas, of 1.75-inch golf ball size hail. So some big hailstorms already here. A little bit of a notch on this storm too. We'll have to wait and see near Graham, Texas. If that becomes tornadic and starts to rotate, that could produce a tornado. Weatherford, Texas. Yep, you want to be on high alert there as well. Let's see here. Dayton, Ohio for Kate. La Follette, Tennessee. Hopefully I pronounced that correctly. Mississippi, Spring, Texas. Awesome. You guys are all over the board. Appreciate you guys joining here. Is that a town name, TA? If TA is still in the chat, is that a town name? It's called Delaware, Ohio. So you have a state name for a state name for a city in Ohio? Delaware, Ohio. Cool. Dadeville, Alabama. Bargersville, Indiana. There's a tornado on the ground in Georgia. We might as well go over here and watch. Look, I do not see a warning over here right now, but I will refresh it. Because sometimes it goes kind of crazy over here on this, so we'll refresh this real quick. Okay. I don't see any tornado warnings currently in Georgia, so that's some good news. I don't see anything that suggests there's a tornado on the ground right now. I could be wrong. This could be delayed a little bit. Hopefully not, but I do not see... Let me look at the velocity here. Yeah, I don't see anything that suggests there's a tornado on the ground in Georgia right now. Observed, Anderson, Georgia. I must be delayed here. I don't know why it's delayed then. Here, just give me 1 second. Just give me 1 second. Okay, I see that. That was from 22 minutes ago, though. That warning. For Andersonville, Georgia. I don't know why it's delayed. Okay, so we have... Okay, yeah, I see that. A confirmed tornado was located over Ellaville, moving east at 20 miles per hour. Emergency management confirmed tornado. I do not see a warning for some reason. There's no warning on here on the Radar Omega app, but Ellaville is right here. So let's go back to the past couple radar scans to look at this real quick. Let's go back to the velocity on here and see if we can identify what we're looking at here. So... yes, I do see the potential. It looked like a brief touchdown. I'm not sure if it's on the ground right now. There's not really any super clear-cut evidence of that. Although, if you are in Andersonville, you want to be in your safe spot here. In Andersonville, Georgia. So if you're watching me from Andersonville, Georgia, make sure that you are in your safe place. We did potentially have a brief tornado touchdown near Ellaville. And if that tornado is still on the ground, as emergency management has confirmed that, then that tornado would be east of Ellaville now. See where those reds and greens come together? And that would be heading right towards Andersonville. And then after that, the Byramville and Lilly area. So keep a very close eye on this storm here. We will do so. But right now, all I see with this, for some reason, let me refresh it again. There's just a severe thunderstorm warning, unless that was just a brief event. Yeah, I still refreshed it and there's nothing on here. So we'll keep a very close eye on it though. If there is a tornado in this, it would be rain wrapped. Okay, you got a very high precipitation storm here. So it's going to be very hard to see. So if you are near Ellaville, if you are near Andersonville, you do have the potential to have a tornado there. So we do have another tornado warning that has been issued. This is radar indicated near Eastman, Georgia. So if you live in the Eastman, Georgia area, we do have a tornado warning that just got issued for a potential tornado and quarter-size hail here. This tornado is for southwestern Lawrence County and northern Dodge County until 1:30 Eastern Time. This tornado was located near Plainfield or near Eastman, Georgia. It's moving southeast at 45 miles per hour. So if you are in Eastman, Cadwell, Greston, Plainfield, and Yonkers, Georgia, make sure that you are in your safe place. Let's look at the velocity on this storm as well. Very nice, strong winds with this storm as well. We have the potential for some strong 60-mile-per-hour winds. You see where these bright yellows are from Dexter all the way down to Chester and almost to the Eastman, Georgia area. Very big gust front with this storm. We are seeing potentially over 60-mile-per-hour winds. So if you are in Eastman, you're going to feel the winds here very, very shortly in areas north of Eastman. So into the Cadwell and Rents area, we're going to start to see those 60-mile-per-hour winds come to fruition there. And we do have a radar-indicated tornado warning. And let's go back to the past couple of frames here to look at this thing. And that tornado would be sitting areas just to the north and east of Eastman. Okay, so that tornado would be sitting north and east of Eastman and heading right towards the Saunders area and Lowry. So if you live there, make sure that you are in your safe place. Also, right outside the tornado warning, Cedar Grove. If you live there, make sure that you are in a basement. Even though you're outside the tornado warning, this storm is moving southeast at 45 miles per hour. It's moving still at a decent clip here. So even outside the warning, make sure you are well aware what is happening here. Keeping a very close eye on those storms there. All right. And then we got those damaging hailstorms back here in Texas. And again, we got I think we got the new update from so we got the new update from the Storm Prediction Center. And we'll show you that here in just a moment's time. So we do have a couple large damaging hailstorms on the radar here into northwest Texas. In North Texas, this is for the Graham area for golf ball size hail, and then they're up toward Wichita Falls for golf ball size hail. So both of these storms, if you live in Wichita Falls, make sure you are indoors and away from windows here, because this storm is definitely packing a punch here. In the Wichita Falls region, the storm is moving right into Wichita Falls, capable of producing that golf ball size hail. And that hail core is actually moving towards downtown Wichita Falls, Texas right now. That's exactly where that is moving towards. All right, so we have a new update from our friends over there at the Storm Prediction Center in Norman, Oklahoma, for the day one outlook, convective outlook for today. So let's show you that here, and we'll get back to some storm coverage after that is completed, and we'll look at the timing of storms. We also are keeping a very close eye on that tornado warning over there into central and middle Georgia. So here is the latest outlook. I think it's updated here on this as well, and I believe it is. Let's see here. I believe it is. Yes, it is. So this is the latest update from the Storm Prediction Center. This is their day one outlook that came out for the 11:30 scheduled update. They do have an enhanced risk maintained for areas from Dallas, Texas, south of there as well along I-35, down to Austin, Texas, This includes Tyler, Texas, up toward Texarkana, and then over here into far southern tier of counties of southern Arkansas into north central Louisiana. So our friends over here in Shreveport, Monroe, and the Alexandria region, you guys are all in an enhanced risk of severe weather. Moving east toward Jackson, Mississippi, Laurel, over here to Meridian, you guys are all in an enhanced risk of severe weather in Mississippi. Into Alabama, Tuscaloosa, down here to Montgomery and Dothan, you guys are all in an enhanced risk, level 3 out of 5 today there. Very far, extreme northwest Florida there, north and west of Tallahassee and north of Panama City there, the extreme northwestern counties there of the panhandle of Florida, you are in that level 3 out of 5. And right where this tornado warning is in middle and south central Georgia, we do have that enhanced risk maintained for Savannah, Georgia area, Brunswick, and over toward Albany, and then a little piece there of far southern South Carolina. So those are all the areas that still have that level 3 out of 5, that enhanced risk for severe storms as we go through the day today. If you are joining me, make sure to smash that like button and subscribe to my channel so you have the latest weather information and everything that you need to know about the weather right here on this channel. And we have a new tornado warning that has just been issued here. Let's look at this. Again, we're going to have to do this. We're going to have to take this off. We'll go over the probabilities of severe weather in just a moment. Let's look at this tornado warning that just got issued here near Americus for the next 36 minutes. All right, so this is along what you call an MCS. This is a mesoscale convective system, and this is on the leading edge. So sometimes on the leading edge of these MCSs, these mesoscale convective systems, we have some notches or a little bit of some kinks in the line here that could produce some spin-up tornadoes. Usually, the tornadoes on the leading edge of MCSs are brief and weak, but with that said, even a weak tornado can do some damage, so we need everybody over here into Georgia to be on high alert, okay? So this is a dangerous situation. We have a new radar-indicated tornado warning here. This is for southwestern Macon County, Dooley County, southeastern Schley County, and northeastern Sumter County. This is all in west central Georgia till 1:45 Eastern Time. This storm was capable of producing a tornado near Bumphead or Americus, moving east at 35 miles per hour. So Americus, Vienna, Byramville, Pinehurst, Andersonville, Lilly, Dooling, New Era over here to the La Crosse and Pennington region. You guys all want to be in your safe place now, as this is a dangerous storm capable of producing a tornado here. So let's look at the velocities on here again. Let's look at the past few scans to identify where this could be at. And it looks to be the rotation is north and east of Americus here. So this is actually heading right toward Vienna, Georgia. And you can see where the reds and greens come together here. Very broad rotation, so there's likely not a tornado on the ground with this. But if there were to be, it would be dropping to the north and east of Americus here in Georgia and heading right towards Vienna. It's moving east-southeast here as well toward the Vienna, Georgia area. And this storm is moving at a pretty decent clip here. It's moving off to the east, southeast at 35 miles per hour. So if you are in Vienna, Georgia, that rotation will be moving toward your area very soon. So we'll be able to identify that as that moves closer. Wow, look at the wind over here. Just east of Eastman, folks, we are seeing some serious wind happening, potentially 60 to 70 mile per hour winds over here. You see these bright yellows, very strong gust front over here on the leading edge of this MCS, this mesoscale convective system. And this is something that is likely producing your straight line wind damage from Cadwell and just east there of Eastman. And this is moving in towards Saunders right now. So Saunders up toward Horn and Batson and even Cadwell. You guys are all seeing that. Rents, Georgia, seeing some very strong 60 to perhaps locally 70 mile per hour winds with this thunderstorm. Also a tornado warning on this for the next 18 minutes. This is for potentially a tornado and quarter-size hail. So the rotation last was located near Plainfield or east of Eastman now. It's moving southeast at 45 miles an hour. So let's see if we can identify that here. And let's go back the few radar scans on this as well. Yeah, it's pretty weak rotation here. It's really it's pretty outflow dominant. We're seeing a lot of strong winds rushing out of the thunderstorm. Wow, look at that. We are definitely seeing some very strong winds here. If we did have a tornado, folks, it would be located right here on the leading edge of this gust front, right in here where the reds and yellows and greens come together. We'll see that very nicely there. It's very broad, so it's a very broad rotation, but the biggest thing with this is actually the wind. So the tornado threat is still secondary, even though we have a tornado warning. I do think there still could be a tornado developing from this storm, but the main event, the main deal with this storm is some straight line wind damage, 60 to locally 70-mile-an-hour winds, and that will be heading towards the gust front of the storm and potentially some strong winds towards Pitts. Cedar Grove, get ready. If you live in Cedar Grove, Georgia, and further off to the north and east toward Lowry, Georgia as well. You guys are next in line to seeing potentially those 60 to 70-mile-per-hour wind gusts with this storm. Let's move back over here toward Americus and see what we are looking at here in the Vienna area for that other tornado warning just to the west of that storm. And we're waiting for a new radar scan. There is something happening here to the north and east of Americus. And let's look at that here on radar. And you have a little bit of a hook here on this as well. We got a little bit of these kinks along the leading edge of the line here. You can see these little kinks kind of like so. That's where we can start to see more rotation with these storms on the leading edge. All right, once you're past the leading edge of this, it's going to turn into a damaging wind event and then eventually a heavy rainfall event as we go deeper into the storm here. So like towards Warner Robins and Macon, Georgia, you guys are in the heavy rainfall part of the storm. The severe weather is on the leading edge of this mesoscale convective system. All right. So that's what we're seeing here. We have a big warning box over here into South Carolina as well for some big wind and hail as well. We have the potential for some 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts and sub-severe hail under quarter size now. But we do have a chance for some very big wind here, 60-mile-per-hour winds in Ridgeville, Walterboro, Lincolnville, Hanahan, and then down here towards Hollywood and Ravenel over here into South Carolina. This is moving towards Charleston. So even though Charleston, South Carolina, you are not in currently the severe thunderstorm warning, I do think that we are going to eventually be seeing a severe thunderstorm capable of some straight line wind damage over the next, half an hour or so. This warning goes for the next 30 minutes, so probably within the next 30 to 45 minutes, we'll start to see this storm moving in there toward Charleston. And let's put a tracker on this as well. So this storm is moving to the east-southeast here at around 35 miles per hour. So if we put a tracker on the leading edge of this, and we're going to see when this is going to reach the Charleston area, if it continues to maintain its forward speed, we're going to kind of try and pinpoint that for you folks there in Charleston. Let's see here. Charleston, it's got to be within... Again, we are, okay, so Charleston in about 54 minutes. So if this storm continues on its forward speed of 35 miles per hour, we are going to see this storm moving into our friends there in Charleston, South Carolina in about almost an hour from now. So be prepared for that. These storms can definitely produce some wind damage as it gets closer towards the Charleston region. All right, moving back over here, west of the DFW Metroplex, we are still keeping our eyes on our friends over here in Texas. We have a very big situation. We have a considerable severe thunderstorm warning north and east of Graham, Texas. This does include the threat for golf ball size hail and 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts. The hail core with this storm is north of Bryson, and it's mainly over open areas here of Texas. So that's some good news. The hail core north of Bryson and just west of Jacksboro, and this is going to be crossing over Highway 281 very soon in northwest Texas. So we're going to keep a very close eye on our friends over here, and this is generally headed toward Bowie. So if you live in Bowie, Texas, Bridgeport, make sure north and west of the DFW Metroplex you are on high alert for this damaging hailstorm, as it does have the capability of producing golf ball size hail. Our friends also up here in Wichita Falls, Texas, we do have a thunderstorm warning, a severe thunderstorm warning for ping pong ball size hail. That is 1.5 inches in diameter and wind gusts up to 50 miles per hour. So even though we are not seeing severe thunderstorm criteria wind gusts with this storm, we are seeing some damaging hail potentially moving through downtown Wichita Falls, Texas right now with ping pong ball size hail. This warning goes until 1 o'clock Central Time for west central Jefferson County, southeastern Cotton County, northwestern Clay County, and southeastern Wichita County, all right? So Wichita Falls, Waurika, the Temple area, Byers, Dean, the Shepherd Air Force Base area, Lakeside City, Pleasant Valley, Taylor, Charlie, and Cashian. You guys are all going to be impacted by this severe thunderstorm warning very soon. This will be crossing into southwestern Oklahoma as well, crossing the Red River there. So we'll be able to watch out for that as that moves off there into portions of southwestern Oklahoma. All right. So that's what we're seeing. We have an extension of our tornado warning down here. So let's get back into our friends in Georgia. Very active already so far, folks. We would love to get to the outlook here shortly, but we are seeing real-time tornado warnings, so we don't want to discourage our information away from the tornado warnings. We want to encourage our information towards that because we want to inform you about our tornado warning. So we have a new tornado warning here into Georgia. This is east of Eastman. This includes the Alamo area and up here towards Sopperton. So if you live in those areas, a radar indicated tornado warning and 1-inch quarter-size hail is in progress right now for the next 41 minutes. So if you live here in an area near Cedar Grove or 11 miles east of Eastman, this storm's moving east with its rotation at 35 miles per hour here. So if you live in Sopperton, Alamo, Mount Vernon, Glenwood, Cadwell, the Rents area over here into Landsberg, Cedar Grove, Lowry, and Barn Hill, this is all in Georgia, folks, and we do have the potential for a tornado with this storm. So let's look at the velocity on this again. Wow, every time I look at this, the gust front, the rush of wind coming down from the downdraft of the storm is much stronger. So you see these bright oranges and yellows on here, that is wind gusts that are rushing down from the downdraft of the storm and rushing out, the rain-cooled air, so to speak, okay? And we are seeing that moving through portions of Georgia right now, and we are seeing that moving through areas near Cedar Grove. So if you are in Cedar Grove, Georgia, you are likely to experience those 60 to 70 mile per hour winds very soon and potentially some tornadic rotation. This is not producing a tornado currently in Georgia, but we are continuing to watch where the reds, yellows, and greens come closer together here. We are also watching a little area up here as well. We'll have to keep a close eye on. Areas again down here. We got multiple areas of potential rotation within this tornado warning. And most of them are heading toward Alamo, Georgia. So if you live in Alamo, Georgia or Sopperton, make sure you are in your basement and lowest, most interior room away from windows as much as possible with this storm. Moving back to the west, the storm that is tornado warned for the next 25 minutes near Americus, Georgia. We still are watching this. This was located near Americus. This is probably now just east of Americus, Georgia. The Vienna area, we're watching that. So Vienna, we are next in line to see the potential rotating part of this storm as well. Let's look here at the velocity with this, and you can see very messy mode here for the velocities. So let's look at, we got a lot of areas of turbulence here. So very, very much, again, this is the leading edge of a line of storms. A couple areas of interest, areas right back here. We have an area right here of a potential tornado developing with this storm just east of Americus that is heading right towards Vienna. So if you live in the Americus, Vienna, or Lilly, Georgia region, make sure you are in your safe place. A basement is ideal, the best option for you. But if you don't have a basement, the lowest, most interior room away from windows is advised with this storm, as this continues to move off to the east-southeast around 30 to 40 miles an hour. These storms are very tall, folks. Look at these storms. Not only are these capable of producing wind and tornadoes, but hail as well. Look at these storms, 50,000 feet there near Americus, and storms over 50,000 feet, 52,000 feet over here toward Eastman. So the bigger the updraft, the better the chance of these storms producing tornadoes and also hail today. And we did have a little bit of a hook on this storm. We're continuing to keep an eye on the new velocity scans with this as well. We do have the potential of seeing a tornado. It is currently likely not on the ground here, but definitely seeing some, broad rotation with this, and this is moving right toward Vienna, Georgia. So if you know anybody that lives near or in Vienna, let them know that there is a tornado potential on the way here with some rotating parts of the storm moving into your area. So, and again, this zooming it out, folks, and we're going to put this in motion real quick. Just putting this in perspective for you, this is all on the leading edge, okay? This is the leading edge of what we call an MCS. This is a mesoscale convective system. It is a loosely organized mesoscale convective system. So in other words, it's not a clear-cut squall line or derecho or anything crazy like that. It's a loosely organized MCS. You have a lot of clusters of showers and storms with supercells embedded within the leading edge of this MCS, and that is leading to these rotating areas on the leading edge of it. So that's where you're going to see the rotation and the gust front from this and the strongest winds on the leading edge. Notice how we zoom this out. See all the way up here into South Carolina, Georgia, all these warnings are on the leading edge. That's what we're looking at. So once you're past the leading edge of this storm, rain-cooled air is going to take over the environment, and that will actually end your severe weather threat, at least for the time being. So that is some great news. So once you are past the leading edge of these storms, we're just going to see a lot of heavy rain here. Now, with that said, we are going to keep an eye on our friends back here as well into Columbus, Montgomery, and back toward Birmingham, Tuscaloosa, as we have some storms starting to develop back there. If any of these storms become severe warned, we definitely have to watch them as they are more semi-discrete, a little bit, farther apart. So those could present more of a chance to produce tornadoes versus a big line of storms that could bring more of a robust wind threat with them. So we'll continue to watch that. Over here into the Charleston region, we're still keeping a very close eye on this line of severe storms that is marching closer into the Charleston area. This is capable of producing 60-mile-per-hour winds. This does not include Charleston currently, but this is including areas here of Lincolnville, Ladson, Hanahan, Ravenel, Hollywood, Ridgeville, and Walterboro. All you guys here in that warning for 60-mile-per-hour winds could see those straight line winds verified in your area. So make sure if you do live in those areas I just mentioned in South Carolina that you are on high alert for the potential of this to move through as well. If you are just joining here, make sure to press the like button down below and subscribe to my channel here at Weather on the Go as we're going over live radar analysis and coverage here with these dangerous severe thunderstorms ongoing already here late this morning into the early afternoon, and we have another long day ahead of us here, potentially another day with tornadoes, very big hail, and winds as well. There is a chance later today for a derecho, and while we are keeping an eye on the tornado warnings, let's get right back here and look at the outlook again. We have an enhanced risk of severe weather today from Dallas, Fort Worth area into portions of Austin, Texas, right along the I-35 corridor. This does include Waco, Texas, and then that moves eastward through Shreveport, Monroe, and Alexandria, Louisiana. Further east, Jackson, Mississippi, Laurel, and Meridian. This does include Montgomery, Dothan, and over here just north of Mobile. And then into Georgia here, the areas that have those tornado warnings also have that enhanced risk. And a very small couple of counties there of southern South Carolina, we have that enhanced risk. Probabilities today for severe weather. Let's look here at the probabilities for wind, hail, and tornadoes. First, let's look at the wind threat. We do have the chance for significant winds over 75 miles per hour today from Dallas eastward through Jackson and Montgomery. You have a 30% chance of some damaging winds there. Looking at the hail threat, big hail back here in Texas and southern Oklahoma, southwest Arkansas, northwestern Louisiana. We have the threat here for some hail over 2 inches in diameter. And we also do have the chance for tornadoes today as well along a long area here, right along the Gulf Coast states from Dallas down to Waco and Austin, eastward through Shreveport, into Monroe, Alexandria, Jackson, Montgomery, all the way over here into southern Georgia. This includes the Savannah, Georgia area, Albany and Brunswick, and then over there closer to Charleston, you have a 2 to a 5% chance of tornadoes today. So a large area stretched out from Texas all the way to South Carolina and down to Florida today for the potential for some tornadoes. So we'll keep a very close eye on that threat. And this does include the chance of a derecho. So let's go over here to the latest HRRR model and show you the timing in which you can expect storms today. So we'll go back to live radar coverage here in just a moment, but we are seeing the potential here today of a derecho developing. So let's see here. We got an MCS. The latest HRRR model at 16Z is doing a very good job of depicting this MCS, this cluster of storms over here into Georgia, into southeastern portions of Alabama and South Carolina. You can see it kind of bowing out at times. That will be your gust front with the storms. Also, the leading edge, we could see additional tornado warnings issued by your local National Weather Service if we see some rotation on the leading edge of these storms. Also, back here into Texas, notice we're starting to see a couple hailstorms developing. One there in Wichita Falls, one that developed north and east of Graham, Texas. This is west of DFW, and this is going to continue to be the case through the afternoon. This is 5 o'clock. We stop the clock here, and we have some robust supercell development in and around the DFW Metroplex, even downtown Dallas seeing the potential here, and then south and westbound from there, and we're going to kind of zoom in to show you some of the other cities at play here. Brownwood, Abilene, San Angelo, back to Waco and Killeen, and up there toward McKinney, Texas. We have the threat of some damaging supercells that could produce damaging tornadoes, some damaging winds, and hail. So we need to be on the high alert for that. Hail in Texas is going to be an issue today because if we look over here at what you call the CAPE, your convective available potential energy, we are seeing it almost off the charts again today, folks. I mean, look at these values around DFW, 3,500 joules per kilogram, down toward the Houston Metroplex, north of 5,000 joules per kilogram in some localized areas, and that extends eastward there to Louisiana. So a lot of these storms are going to take advantage of that energy, that instability, if you will, in the atmosphere and tap into that and produce some big hail. So we're going to keep a close eye on that. Going into the early evening hours, notice how we see upscale growth into some storms here in East Texas. We'll keep a very close eye on that. And then possibly overnight here, some of the models were indicating the potential for upscale growth. There's a little bit of uncertainty with that, but if we do see that, and I'll go back to the 12Z run here, if we do see that come to fruition, then we may have what we call a MCS again that could turn into a derecho. You see that developing there from Louisiana there around 10 o'clock, and then crossing through Jackson, Mississippi potentially, and then potentially seeing that bow echo with this crossing through portions of Mississippi and southern Alabama. If this scenario came into fruition, we would have likely a derecho with this. And you're probably asking, what is a derecho? A derecho is a line of fast-moving, intense thunderstorms that covers a distance of at least 250 miles long. So that's exactly what we're seeing. You can see the bow out structure here. And this may change through the afternoon, but there is some chance for this to happen. Derecho forecasting is very difficult, and that would continue into Georgia as well. Some of the same areas that have severe thunderstorm warnings and tornado warnings by tomorrow morning could have that again. So we'll keep a very close eye on that. So that's kind of the timing of the storms. Supercells back in Texas, hail, wind, and tornadoes will grow upscale into potentially a derecho overnight tonight. Otherwise, more isolated coverage of storms. So we'll keep a very close eye on that as we go through the live stream here and keep you updated on the potential for a derecho and everything that goes along with it here. And you're going to hear more of these terms as we go deeper into the summer months, the spring and summer. Derechos are more common during the warm season, May through August. May is actually the leading month in frequency for derechos, up to 22% frequency. And I think it drops to 20 or 21% frequency in June and July. Pretty, average, pretty active with derechos. And then once we go into August, that drops back to like 15% or something. So yeah, we're getting into that time of year. And, you know, just to give you an idea here, folks, why the atmosphere sometimes produces derechos too is like, for example, and I'm going to draw it on here just to give you an example. Like if we have a high pressure system in the southeast U.S., the airflow around a high pressure system is clockwise, right? So you have the airflow kind of like this. Well, around a heat wave, you usually see a lot of instability building in the central and southern plains and the southeast in these areas, right? And like all of these areas. Well, on the northward side of that, the northern and northeastern periphery of that heat dome is a lot of stronger winds in the jet stream and also a lot of instability. You got a very strong reservoir of instability that would lead to a corridor of derecho potential from the high plains into the Midwest and Ohio Valley, typically in any given summer. I think that area may be a little bit further south this year, kind of including an area something like this. I don't think it'll be quite as far north. The high pressure system this summer will likely be a little bit further south into the Four Corners region instead of being up here into like the Rockies. I think the high pressure system will be a little bit further south towards Arizona, New Mexico, and West Texas. So with the airflow around it, something like this. And then you have another high pressure system up here into Canada. Airflow around that will be something like this. Then we have something's got to give, right? So the corridor will be a little bit further south here this year into something like that for derechos rather than the upper Midwest. So I think the lower Midwest, the Missouri Valley, and the Ohio, Tennessee River Valley more at risk of seeing that this year. So that's just kind of giving you an idea of what we're seeing there. And sorry about that, folks, for the long explanation. Just kind of wanted to educate you guys on what, derechos are and stuff. So I apologize. But we don't have any confirmed tornadoes right now. There's no confirmed tornadoes, so we're good. If there were, we would have already went to those. I got my Gatorade Zero. We're all good. Electrolytes rolling. We're good. So we are keeping an eye on these tornado warnings. Again, we have one just to the east here of Americus, okay? This is, again, radar indicated for the next 12 minutes. And we are currently looking at rotation moving closer toward Vienna, like we were mentioning earlier on here. It's very broad, folks, so we're seeing very weak rotation here. There's no tornado on the ground with that current tornado warning. This one over to the east towards Sopperton and Alamo, Georgia. This one is also capable of producing a tornado, but it is also radar indicated, which is good news. We don't want a tornado, and some quarter-size hail here as well. Very strong gust front. It's weakened a little bit, so that's some good news. The storm may be on a slight weakening trend. Look at the bright yellows earlier on. It's starting to weaken just a little bit. I think the northern edge up here still holding on pretty strong north of Glenwood and toward Terrytown and Ailey. This will be heading toward Vidalia and Lyons very soon as well. So if you are in those areas, make sure that you are in your safe place in case a tornado warning is issued in the next several minutes. This has a look to it that is more linear, so that's hopefully some good news. Maybe this is just producing a lot of just straight line winds. We have a little bit of a kink here, so if I kind of draw the leading edge of this line of storms, we have a little bit of a kink here where inflow could be, could get tossed into the storm, and we would be watching out for a tornado in an instance like that. Near Alamo is kind of where that rotation would be right now. So if you live in Alamo, the rotation is basically right over you and just to your east. So Highway 280 between Alamo and Glenwood, that's where that rotation would be. Very, very broad, very weak. So we're not looking at any tornadoes there right now. Yeah, if you guys want to know anything else about severe weather forecasting or derechos or anything like that, I'm your guy. I'll definitely give you any insight on that. I know a lot about severe weather. I've done my own research on severe weather, and I've been through a lot of severe weather events. I used to live in Florida. I went through hurricanes. I've lived in northern Illinois here for a long time. That's where I'm based out of right now, is west of Chicago, and I've been through a lot of derechos, so I know exactly how they act and exactly what happens with those. So we have a new tornado warning here for Georgia. This is including portions of Rochelle, Abbeville, over here toward Cordell, Vienna, as well as near Pineview. So we have still a tornado warning with this. This looks to be more of a precautionary tornado warning because there's still some weaker rotation near Vienna right now. So let's look here at what this says here. So if you live in Wilcox County, southeastern Dooley County, and northern Crisp County until 2:15 Eastern Time, the rotation, like I mentioned, was near Vienna and moving east at 45 miles per hour. So it's moving very quickly. Areas impacted here are Cordell, Vienna, Abbeville, Rochelle, Pineview, Pitts, Lilly, East Crisp, the Richwood area, Cedar Creek, over here into Pope City, Seville, Pleasant View, Tippetville, Tremont, and also Owensboro. So hopefully I pronounced your city correctly. I apologize if I did not, but that is what we're looking at currently with the potential for a tornado in your area. Yeah, folks, we are almost to 91,000 subscribers. If you want to help me get to our stream goal of 91,000 or, really 100,000, but 91,000 today, you hit the subscribe button down below, and I would appreciate that as well. We're getting very close to 91,000 subscribers. So right now we've had strong focus on those tornado warnings. Let's move up here to the severe warned storms in Georgia as well. Right on the Georgia-South Carolina state line here, we got some more impressive looking storms. This is another nice line of storms moving through the Sylvania area, Rocky Ford, and moving towards Newington. This is just for 60-mile-per-hour winds here as well. And then over here in our friends in South Carolina, over here with our friends in the Charleston, South Carolina area, we still have the threat for 60-mile-per-hour winds. We'll see if they extend this warning or not, but the Lincolnville area is just about ready to see those very strong winds on the leading edge of this storm here very, very, very soon. Samuel, you're from Mississippi. Thanks for joining. Sorry, folks, I haven't looked at chat very much so far just because there's been a lot of warnings coming out, a lot of these tornado warnings. I'll look more at chat here from now on, I promise. Let's see here. What's the approximate length in miles of an area for a derecho? A derecho is characterized by it moves over a distance of at least 250 miles long. So it's a pretty great distance. And it has to have consistent damaging winds with it of usually over 75 miles per hour. So that criteria could be met later on today, like we showed you earlier on with the simulation of the HRRR model. If that came to fruition and verified, then very well we could have a derecho event later on today. But again, that remains to be seen. We'll be able to watch out for that later on today if that came to fruition. Otherwise, it'll be just a supercell type of day-to-day with a lot of those semi-discrete storms capable of producing hail, wind, and a few tornadoes. I'm in southeast Georgia, Statesboro. It's all headed my way. Schools are closing now. It's probably just precautionary. That's probably some good things. What is a supercell? A supercell thunderstorm is a storm that is the most capable out of any thunderstorm on Earth that can produce tornadoes. There are a lot of different types of storms that can produce tornadoes, but a supercell thunderstorm is the most likely to do so. Usually it looks like a kidney bean. So like a supercell storm kind of looks like this. It's got a big hail core with it. The hail core of the supercell, where I just draw it on the screen here, would be like in this area here that I outlined in yellow. The tornado threat would be on the hook echo area. The hook echo down here on the southwestern side, I guess you could say. And right here is where the inflow would be into that hook echo area. That's where the winds move away from the radar and towards the radar. That's where you have the most rotation with a supercell. Patricia, watching from Central Louisiana, I subscribe. Thank you so much for subscribing and watching there from Louisiana. Thank you. Appreciate it. Yeah, folks, if you haven't subscribed yet, make sure to do so. We're almost, again, at 91,000 subscribers. We're keeping a very close eye on those storms. We're going to kind of jump back and forth up here from the DFW area and back over towards the southeast. All right, we got another storm that's crossing through Wichita Falls. This was actually moving rather quickly. This already moved through Wichita Falls. If you are watching me from Wichita Falls, did you see any hail with this? Because this storm is still a considerable severe thunderstorm warning, capable of producing 1.75-inch golf ball size hail here, and winds up to 50 miles per hour. This is just east of Burke Burnett. This is up here into areas of it's mainly open areas, but it's heading up there toward Temple, Oklahoma, and Hastings, Oklahoma, there just north of Highway 70. So if you are into the Highway 70 area there, south of Temple or near Hastings, Oklahoma there, you are going to be impacted by some golf ball size hail and 50 mile per hour winds very soon with this storm. And you can see the hail core there just to the east of Burke Burnett. That hail core just moved through the Wichita Falls downtown area there in northwest Texas. So if you are watching me from Wichita Falls on the live stream here, let me know if you saw any hail from this storm or not. That would be very helpful. I appreciate it. To give me some real-time intel on whether or not the storm is actually producing that to the ground, or if it's just capable of producing golf ball size hail. Yeah, I can pull that up, Aaron, here in just 1 second. Sorry, we're just covering these storms back here into Texas. We were just looking at those tornado-warned storms a few minutes ago, but we'll go back to that in just a second. We got a very big hailstorm here to the west of, or actually to the north rather, of Jacksboro. This is for tennis ball size hail. We got a considerable severe thunderstorm warning here for tennis ball size hail. This is 2.5 inches in diameter, folks, and 60 mile per hour wind. So if you're north of Jacksboro here, this is a very damaging hailstorm here. And this is all relative to the DFW area. This is north and west of Dallas-Fort Worth, and it's moving towards Bowie. So if you live in Bowie, you want to be watching this storm very closely into northwest and north central Texas. This is a very big storm. Tennis ball size hail, 60 mile per hour wind gusts here. Jacksboro, Fort Richardson State Park, Lost Creek Reservoir, and Post Oak. So if you guys live in those areas, make sure you are indoors and away from windows. A very large hailstorm with that storm as well. We'll keep an eye on those hailstorms here over the next few minutes. Let's move back over here to Georgia. Let's look here at some of the velocity scans again on these tornado warnings. We do have a severe thunderstorm warning there, including Vidalia. We'll get to that in just a minute here. But let's look currently at these tornado warnings into the Cordell, Rochelle, and Abbeville, Vienna area. We are going to go to the velocity signature here as well. The rotating part of the storm is past Vienna. So if you are in Vienna and you are still in the tornado warning, you are still in the tornado warning, but the strongest part of the rotation is now down toward Cordell, and it is approaching the Pitts and Rochelle, Georgia area. Okay, so that's where the strongest part of the rotation is with this storm currently. Yeah, and I don't see anything that's on the ground either. So we're just seeing some weak rotation, very broad rotation with this storm too. Oxford, Mississippi, you're good. There's no warnings in Mississippi currently, but you need to be on high alert though for the potential for severe weather later on this evening and this afternoon, this evening, and tonight. NOAA Weather Radio, folks. I preach this all the time. NOAA Weather Radio is a great tool to have for severe weather, even if overnight or you're taking a nap in the afternoon. It wakes you right up. You have it programmed to your county. It'll wake you up for severe thunderstorm warnings and tornado warnings. So a new scan just came in. Let's go to the past couple scans here of this storm with the velocity on this tornado warning. You can see we do have some rotation there. The rotation is moving towards Rochelle. So if you live in Rochelle into Georgia, that's where we have the rotating part of the storm there. So that would be moving right in toward Rochelle and eventually toward Abbeville. All right, so the rotation is now passing through the Cordell area and is now already past Vienna. So if you live in Vienna, you guys should be good over the next few minutes. A tornado warning continues for the next 14 minutes there for Alamo up towards Sopperton. That is being replaced by a severe thunderstorm warning with a tornado possible tag on it. We still have quarter-size hail and 60 mile per hour wind gusts. And yes, boy, have we ever seen 60 mile per hour winds here. Into the Ailey region, this is heading toward Vidalia, Lyons, and Alston. If you live in any of these areas in this big, large, severe thunderstorm warning polygon, make sure here in Georgia that you are in your safe place and away from windows. Very big gust front here where you see the bright yellows here. That is likely producing those very strong, good rush of wind coming down from the thunderstorm over 60 miles per hour. Some of these areas, I would not be shocked to see isolated 70 mile per hour wind gusts moving toward Vidalia and over the Ailey area in Georgia right now. So a very strong storm there. And look at that. You can see it's mainly linear. So that's better than a tornado warning. We still have a tornado warning with it now, but I think this is transitioning more to a wind threat versus a tornado threat with that storm. Will Collinsville, Oklahoma, north of Tulsa have anything today? No, I don't think you'll have anything severe there north of Tulsa today. You guys will be fine. Any thunderstorms you see today are going to be general garden variety storms. So we are not seeing anything like that today into the Tulsa area. So that's some good news. Let's move up here to the South Carolina and Georgia state line. Again, these storms up here look linear. This is for the next half hour or so. 60 mile per hour winds. If you do live into the Sylvania area, Rocky Ford, Woodcliff, Altman, Catolo, and also the Hunters area. You guys have the potential there in eastern Georgia of some 60 mile per hour wind gusts. And also, just of note, the severe thunderstorm warning that was north and west of Charleston has been allowed to expire or be canceled there near Lincolnville. So those storms have been weakening over the past few minutes. Right now, the strongest storms we have on the radar in the United States right now are either in south central Georgia here or parts of northern and northwest Texas. Excuse me. Yeah, we got we're going to go back here to Texas real quick. We'll go right back to Georgia here in just a minute and give you that as well. We got some big hail over here. So we got a new severe thunderstorm warning. This includes Bowie on the northern extent of the severe thunderstorm polygon. We have Bridgeport, Runaway Bay, Decatur, and Jacksboro. So these storms are just to the north and east of Jacksboro now. A considerable severe thunderstorm warning here for tennis ball size hail. This is 2.5 inches in diameter, folks, a very big hail core, and this is going to be crossing over County Road 59 and eventually approaching Highway 81 from Bowie down to Decatur. So if you live from Bowie, Texas down to Decatur, Texas, it's going to be crossing over that Highway 81 corridor very, very shortly here with some tennis ball size hail. You do not want to be driving in tennis ball size hail. That could ruin your windshield. Okay. In addition, you don't want to be outdoors, even with yourself, your person outside with these damaging these damaging hailstorms as well, because these could be producing some, like, again, I said, tennis ball size hail. So, and that could do injury to your person. So you don't want to be outdoors and caught outdoors with that. So a lot of crazy storms today. Yeah, real-time storms, you are absolutely correct. Yes, La Nina does do that. Yes, La Nina typically brings a lot of severe weather to the south and southeast, really the eastern U.S. in general. But yes, La Nina brings more severe weather to the U.S. than El Nino does. You are correct. Also more widespread as well. We are not in a La Nina yet. We are in ENSO neutral. But that is a good point. Again, folks, we are doing live coverage of severe weather here. We could have a derecho later on today. We are keeping a very close eye on that, but I do think there is a lot of a potential today here in Texas, especially some very large hail. We have another hailstorm here to the north that is including areas north and east of Wichita Falls. This is crossing right over the Red River Valley here into the Temple region. This is capable of producing 1.75 inch hail. That's golf ball size there toward Temple, Oklahoma. Let's move back over here towards the Georgia area. So we got a new tornado warning, and we thought anyway that this was going to be turned over to a severe thunderstorm warning. While that did have a tornado possible tag on it, we do still have an observed tornado now, folks. So we have a tornado warning that is observed. And let's see here. See what it's observed. This is a weather spotters confirmed tornado warning, a damaging tornado on the ground. This is a fast moving tornado, folks. This is moving east at 55 miles per hour here. If you live in Lyons, Mount Vernon, Vidalia, the Uvalde region, also Ely, Higston, and Santa Claus, Georgia. You guys have the potential of a tornado with this. So let's see if we can identify where this is here real quick. And I believe it's going to be near Vidalia, near Alston. So let's see here if we can identify. Okay, so the tornado warning is for near the Alston area. So down in this area, we got some very weak couplet here, but it is apparently the weather spotters have confirmed a tornado there just to the north and west of Alston. So we were keeping a very close eye on that. That will be heading off to the east-southeast at 55 miles per hour. So if you live in the city of Alston, Uvalde, Rock Springs, Cedar Crossing, or over here toward Johnson Corner, you guys are next in line with the potential tornado here. This is actually probably on the ground. It is a weather spotters confirmed tornado here, and this is heading right into Alston, Uvalde, Rock Springs, and the Cedar Crossing area. So again, the most immediate area impacted by this observed tornado, this is again a weather spotters confirmed tornado in Alston, Georgia, and you want to be in your safe spot there, and Uvalde, Georgia as well. Thanks, Nina. Thanks for joining. I appreciate it. Yeah, folks, if you haven't watched my weather forecast videos, we break it down for you all throughout the U.S. We cover southern Canada. We cover the entire contiguous United States and the tropics as well. Yes, we don't stop just at the United States. We talk about the Atlantic and Eastern Pacific Ocean with our tropical seasons as well. So if you are not a subscriber here to my channel, Weather on the Go, make sure to smash that subscribe button and turn all post notifications on because we'll be doing videos mostly every day on this channel. And we'll also be doing live stream coverage as well for severe weather, winter weather, and hurricane live streams. So we have a new update here with the velocity scan. Let's go back to the radar reflectivity. That rotation is right over Alston right now. So it still says observed, but I am seeing a little bit of some weakening potentially with this. And that's typical on a leading edge of an MCS. Usually you see weaker and a lot harder to identify tornado warnings on these as well. But that rotation is moving right into the city of Alston and potentially the Uvalde area. So if you're in Alston, you're probably seeing the potential for that tornado to move through here in the next, like literally 30 seconds, if it isn't already. So you need to be in your basement there right now in Alston. A tornado is on the ground, confirmed by weather spotters. This goes in effect till 2:30 Eastern time. And this is a fast-moving storm. This is going to move through quickly, moving through to the east-southeast here around 55 miles per hour. So the next areas after Alston, you want to be in your safe spot in Center, Rock Springs, and Cedar Crossing. All right, and there we go, right there. So there's the tornado. If the tornado is on the ground, it is just to the north and east of Alston. See where those reds and greens and everything come together? It's between Center and Alston, Georgia. That's where that tornado will be on the ground at right now. And we're keeping a very, very close eye on that here. Let's go back here and look at the correlation coefficient. We're not seeing anything clearly defined that there is a tornado on the ground here. There's a lot of noise on the CCs here, the correlation coefficient, but there is no clear-cut evidence that this is, a huge tornado by any means, but this is probably a weak tornado, but it's still, regardless, a tornado is likely on the ground here as it is observed by weather spotters north and east of Alston, Georgia. And this is heading right towards the Rock Springs and Center area. We go back here to the velocity. You can see that's where that tornado would be, north and east of Alston there, and that is right along, I'm trying to find out what road that would be, Bulldog Road. So if it's Bulldog Road and heading towards Cedar Crossing and Vidalia Road. So if you're on Cedar Crossing, Vidalia Road, down to Rock Springs Road, you want to be away from those areas now. This is absolutely moving quickly to your area. Next in line over here will be the County Road 15 and Highway 1. So if you are traveling on Highway 1, just to the south and east of Center and towards Johnson Corner, you guys want to be away from that area and avoiding that area as well, as there is a tornado on the ground likely with this storm. Oh, wow. We just saw the, wow, that just completely, some good news with this is it looks like the storm is becoming very linear. So hopefully it was just a brief tornado with the storm, and maybe the winds, the leading edge of the storm is actually hopefully taking over this circulation and making it be more of a straight line wind event rather than a tornadic thunderstorm. So hopefully that is occurring, and the handoff from a tornado to straight line winds is occurring. Not that we want straight line winds, but I will take straight line winds every day over a tornado here, because straight line winds, while they can produce damage, and in a larger area, a tornado can do a lot of damage, and we do not want to see that. So precautionary. If you do still live in center Georgia, in Rock Springs, Johnson Corner, and then now the New Branch area, and then up towards Santa Claus, Georgia, make sure that you are in your safe spot now in a basement, lowest, most interior room. This is still an observed tornado warning for the next 33 minutes. Yeah, and see all this right here in the correlation coefficient? I see all that color right there, the yellows, the greens, and everything. That, my friends, and if we go back to the velocity, that is likely the debris, or at least some type of dust or dirt or something being picked up by either A, the tornado that it potentially could still be on the ground here, or the very strong straight line winds from Vidalia all the way down toward Alston now. So that will be moving into Lyons. So if you live in Lyons, Georgia, you're going to start to see those straight line winds very soon. And then that'll be down Highway 1 through Santa Claus, all the way down toward Johnson Corner and Cedar Crossing. You're going to start to see those very strong winds. If we go back down here to the correlation coefficient, you can see a lot of that is mainly just from the damaging winds we're seeing in this region. And there is some hail along with it, up to quarter size. So we'll keep a very, very close eye on that. That storm looks like it's turning more linear, so hopefully we're seeing more damaging winds versus tornado threat with this storm from Vidalia southward toward Alston, Georgia. And where is this in Georgia, you may ask? This is in basically southeastern Georgia is where we're seeing this at. All right? Near the Vidalia area. No worries, Michelle. Thanks for being here. Again, thank you to Snowy's Photography. Thank you so much for modding the chat. I really appreciate it. Thanks for being here as always. Thank you all for being here as always. Again, we're doing live severe weather coverage here on this storm. So make sure, again, if you are here, we're talking about an observed weather spotters confirmed tornado here into southeastern Georgia. And we're going to go back here and look at the velocity as a new scan just came in. Still some weaker rotation here to the south of Lyons. This is now to the Highway 1 corridor. So Lyons down to Santa Claus, and we just had a new scan just come in. So just hold your phone for a second here. So we got Lyons, Santa Claus, all the way down to Johnson Corner. We have all those straight line winds moving along with the storm, and still it says observed, and I don't see where that would be at. So I think this is mainly a wind producer as of now. And hopefully that's the case. If this is still producing a tornado, you're likely not going to see it. It's likely to be rain wrapped, because at this point I can't see it even on the radar, so you're definitely not going to see it in person. That is for sure. So if you're going out trying to find this thing, you're definitely not going to be able to see it. Don't do that. I highly advise you not to do that. Never, never go look for a tornado. If there's a tornado warning for your area, always go to the basement. If you don't have a basement, the lowest, most interior room away from windows. Put as many walls between you and the outdoors as humanly possible. Again, thank you folks for joining. If you are here, make sure you are subscribed to my channel. We are approaching 91,000 and really better yet, 100,000 subscribers. So if you want to help me get there, make sure to subscribe. Each and every one of you, all 1,050 of you in the live stream. If you subscribe to my channel, we'll be even closer to 100,000. So I appreciate it. We have a new video coming out tomorrow. We're going to update you on everything that you need to know. So all across the U.S., Southern Canada, and the tropics. We'll keep you updated. Make sure to smash that like button as well. Smash the subscribe button. Do it all. Appreciate it. All right, so we're going to keep a close eye on that tornado warning as it is observed still. We do have still that other tornado warning back here for the next 14 minutes. I'm not really seeing a ton of strong rotation, if you will, with this one. This is toward Rochelle and Abbeville. I'm not seeing a lot of strong rotation with this storm at all. We do have a severe thunderstorm warning with the tornado possible tag on that as well, down toward Fitzgerald and Jacksonville, Georgia. So we're keeping a close eye on that. And kind of zooming this out here, folks, this is all a part of a mesoscale convective system. This is what we call an MCS. You probably heard of that as a meteorological term by a lot of meteorologists out there, or anybody that refers to big complexes of storms as MCSs. That's exactly what this is. The leading edge of these are all of what you need to know. Okay, so like once you're past the leading edge of this mesoscale convective system, it's all heavy rain and lightning. So the main severe weather threat from this is on the leading edge. So if you're not past the leading edge of storms here, you are likely still seeing severe weather chances here. So keeping a very close eye there on that. We have a new severe thunderstorm warning, a very large, wow, that's a very large severe thunderstorm warning there into South Carolina. This does include Charleston, Hollywood, also up toward the Hanahan, Lincolnville area, over toward Owendo, and also back there toward Walterboro. This is for 60-mile-per-hour wind. We kind of have just a strong line of storms moving through. This will be in the Charleston area within the next 20-30 minutes or so. So make sure if you're in Charleston, South Carolina, move indoors for that. That tornado warning back here that we just had near Rochelle and Abbeville has been allowed to expire, but we still have a severe thunderstorm warning with a tornado possible tag and also some 60-mile-per-hour wind potential with that on it. We'll get back to Georgia here in just a minute. Let's look at our friends over here in Oklahoma. We have a severe thunderstorm warning for southwestern Oklahoma now. This is with that hailstorm. This is moving up toward Duncan, Marlow, and also the Temple area. So Temple immediately impacted by this. After Temple, this will be moving up into Walters, Duncan, and then Marlow, Oklahoma here. So this is going to be approaching the highway, what is this? Highway 81 area and the County Road 7. So we're going to keep a close eye on that. That is going to likely go east of Lawton and Fort Sill, Oklahoma. Okay, so this is likely going to move east of Lawton and Fort Sill, Oklahoma here up toward Marlow and Duncan and immediately impacting the Temple, Oklahoma area. Considerable severe thunderstorm warning here for 2-inch lime-size hail and 50-mile-per-hour wind gusts, a very strong hail core with this, and you're likely going to be seeing those lime-size hailstones in Temple if you haven't already. That is moving right into downtown Temple right now. And then after that, that'll be moving up toward Duncan here in southwestern Oklahoma. Very big hailstorm with this storm as well. Further south, another big hailstorm in the DFW Metroplex. Let's switch over radar sites here. Look at the big blue dot there. That is just to the northwest of the Bridgeport and north of Runaway Bay. This is a destructive severe thunderstorm warning for baseball-size hail, folks. We have 2.75-inch hail with this and 60-mile-per-hour winds. So this is producing some sideways hail, if you will, with this storm right now. So if you are into areas of Bridgeport, Decatur, or up here into the Highway 81 area from Alvord up to Sunset and the Chico, Texas region, you are going to be impacted by a baseball-sized hailstorm. This is a very serious situation here. This is a destructive severe thunderstorm warning here just to the north and west of the Dallas-Fort Worth area. So we're watching this. Again, this hailstorm is going to be crossing over Highway 81 in northwest Texas very soon. So if you live, again, between Bowie and Decatur, you're going to see this very soon. Look at the big hail core on this. You can see the purples. You can see the blues. That is where that baseball-sized hail is, and that is going to be crossing right over Highway 81 literally momentarily within the next few minutes. So if you're traveling on Highway 81 from Sunset, Alvord down there toward Decatur, or north out of Decatur toward Alvord, Sunset, or Bowie, you're going to be impacted by this large hailstorm very, very soon. Let's see here. Yeah, Andrew, that is a massive hail core for sure. That's why we have that baseball size hail. Absolutely. You do not want to be outside for that. That can do a lot of damage. Should I worry in Wilmington, North Carolina tomorrow? What threats should I expect tomorrow? I don't think the Wilmington area is going to be too concerned about any widespread significant severe weather tomorrow. If I look at the outlook here for Friday, Wilmington's under a level 1 out of 5 there in North Carolina. That 1 out of 5 is a marginal risk, and your threats are mainly going to be for wind and hail. The tornado threat tomorrow is currently a 2%, so you may have a chance for that, but I think the main threat there tomorrow is for wind and hail. So 60-mile-per-hour winds and your quarter-size hail there. Excuse me. Yeah, we are seeing a very big hailstorm back there in Texas. We got a new severe thunderstorm warnings down here into Georgia, while this line of storms, if you will, this MCS is producing some 60-mile-per-hour winds and quarter-size hail. We got a new tornado warning that has just been issued. Excuse me. This is for a radar-indicated tornado warning for Collins, Reidsville, Cobbtown, and Hagen. This is into Georgia here, so we're going to look at this warning as well. So this is capable of producing a tornado over the Lyons, Georgia area, moving east at 35 miles per hour. So Reidsville, Claxton, Hagen, Collins, Cobbtown, Belleville, and those areas. We're going to be watching out for that. And let's look at the velocity scans with this storm as well, because we're keeping an eye on that to see where the potential tornado and rotation would be with this. This is likely not producing a tornado currently. The rotation just moved through the Vidalia area and is now pushing east. It's pushing east toward Reidsville and Claxton. So we're keeping a very close eye on that storm. This is just a radar indicated tornado warning. South of there, it's all about the wind, folks. Wind and hail. We're seeing 60-mile-per-hour winds and a lot of hail with this storm. And look at all the storms here, folks. Just imagine all the lightning here from Eastman over towards Vidalia. That's going to be heading down here toward Ashburn and Baxley, Hazelhurst, Lumber City, Denton. This is Jacksonville. This is all into south central Georgia. 60-mile-per-hour winds and some quarter-size hail here, and I'll kind of zoom it out for you folks to show you the general direction in which these storms are propagating here this afternoon. You can see they are moving and propagating, if you will, from northwest to southeast. So we're keeping a very close eye on these storms as they move off to the southeast. Any kinks in this line of storms may produce tornadoes, but mainly some hail and wind here. Mainly some hail and wind. We're also keeping an eye on our friends over here in the Charleston area. We have a severe thunderstorm warning there as well, including Hollywood and Charleston, South Carolina for 60-mile-per-hour wind here and some sub-severe hail under quarter size. So maybe some pocket change hail there of maybe dime, penny, or marble size hail. That is not severe warned for that. So it's severe warned for wind. All right, so let's look back here. We have another warning that does include for the next 6 minutes. Again, a severe thunderstorm warning there. This is for the Sylvania area there near the Georgia-South Carolina state line. That will be allowed to expire very, very soon. All right, let's get back to Texas here. We have a very big hailstorm ongoing north and west of the Dallas-Fort Worth area. This is likely producing some baseball-size hail. This is 2.75 inches in diameter, folks. This is some monster hail here. This is really big hail just to the north and west of Bridgeport and Decatur. This is approaching very quickly the Highway 81 corridor between Bowie and Decatur. So if you know anybody in the Bowie-Decatur area here north and west of Dallas-Fort Worth, let them know. There's some baseball-sized hail potential with this storm. Very big hailstorm here. Yeah, these tornadoes in Texas, that guy, 1044, yeah, these storms are capable of producing tornadoes. They just don't have the rotation right now. These mainly just have a lot of cold air aloft, a lot of dry air aloft, and that's why we're seeing a lot of hail with these storms. So this is mainly going to be some hailstorms. And not only that, we're seeing a lot of storm development starting to go strong here. So we have two severe thunderstorm warnings, one up here to the east of Lawton, Oklahoma in the Fort Sill area, and then one down to the south here, north and west of the Dallas-Fort Worth area. There's Dallas, there's Plano, Texas. This is just to the north and west of there. And then there's Wichita Falls. That other storm just moved through Wichita Falls further to the north. That's crossing over into southwestern Oklahoma. In addition to those storms, any one of these storms that develop could produce tornadoes, wind, and hail. We have additional severe thunderstorms that could develop back here toward Abilene and then up here towards Wichita Falls, even behind this baseball-sized hailstorm. That is definitely possible. You can see there's a lot of growth going on with this storm just to the north and east of Abilene toward Moran and Breckenridge Ridge. We'll see if that happens. And up here eventually toward Bowie, Henrietta, those areas, and Olney, Texas, those areas could start to see severe thunderstorm warnings if those storms become taller. So like if you look here at the echo tops from these storms, look at how tall that storm is, folks. If this is correct, let's see. Let me see if I'm at the right. Okay, so this is the DFW Metroplex radar site here, so we're relatively closer to the storm. But this storm is 57,000 feet tall, folks. 57,000 feet tall. That is nearly a mile high in the atmosphere. Those overshooting tops, your anvil of your thunderstorm. The anvil is the top of a thunderstorm. That is 57,000 feet tall, folks. Very strong storm. That's why we're seeing the baseball size hail here. Another reason why as well we're seeing the big hail, and let's kind of zoom it out and go back to the HRRR model, as we were talking about earlier, and you guys may not have been here, is that we do have the chance here for some big hail because of this CAPE today. So this is what you call CAPE, convective available potential energy, otherwise known as instability or thunderstorm fuel, whatever you want to refer to it as. It's all the same thing. This is basically around 4,000 to 5,000 joules per kilogram. And this is off the charts, folks. This is as high as it gets for instability at any point in the year. And whenever any thunderstorms can tap into this environment, they will likely easily go severe and produce hail. And in fact, we do actually have a new severe thunderstorm warning, as we were just pointing out. I told you just moments ago that this storm north and east of Abilene will likely go severe warned. Well, there we go. We got a severe thunderstorm warning here now for 60-mile-per-hour winds and 1-inch quarter-size hail. So if you live in the Abilene area, just north and east of Abilene, this is heading up toward Moran and Breckenridge. So Moran, Texas, and Breckenridge, that is where this severe thunderstorm warning is at right now. So, and this is actually heading right into Albany, Texas. So if you're in Albany, Texas, make sure you are indoors and away from windows with this storm. This is in effect until 2 o'clock this afternoon, and this is capable of producing some big hail, quarter size and 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts. And this is in an environment that has greater than 4,000 joules per kilogram of instability, folks. Usually for severe thunderstorm, instability values of 1,000 joules per kilogram. That's how you measure energy in the atmosphere, is joules per kilogram. So 1,000 joules per kilogram is weak instability, and that's enough. That's all you need for severe thunderstorms, especially in the springtime with more wind energy in the atmosphere. It kind of organizes these storms better. But when you have higher instability, there's a lot of hail going on, a lot of upward motion with our updrafts of storms. Those air parcels want to rise, and that's what exactly we're seeing with these storms here across portions of North Texas. All the air just wants to rise. If we go back to the HRRR model, let's look at the dew point temperatures. Okay, very muggy out here, I bet, into North Texas right now. If you're walking outdoors in the Dallas-Fort Worth area at, 1:07 in the afternoon Central Time, the dew points are in the low 70s this afternoon, 72 degrees in Dallas, 70 degrees or so in the DFW area, just all together with the dew points. That is basically air you can wear as you walk outside. You start to sweat easily with this environment here today, and that's why we're seeing that. A lot of air that wants to rise, and that's going to always produce the potential for some big hail here. All right, we got a new severe thunderstorm warning getting very active here in North Texas. A new severe thunderstorm warning, again, for the areas we were just talking about near Henrietta. This is for ping pong ball size hail. So again, notice in North Texas, the hail in particular in North Texas is going to be much larger than other parts of the country today because of the instability. The strongest instability in the U.S. today is across Texas, Louisiana, and parts of Mississippi. If any storms develop in that vicinity, in the high instability environment, we are going to see big hail. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about that. So we're keeping a very, very close eye on these storms. I see somebody in the chat saying it is very muggy here in Dallas. Yes, absolutely. Those dew points today are very high. I believe yesterday in the Dallas-Fort Worth area, there were dew points that were actually approaching 80 degrees yesterday. We've had a lot of rain down there in North Texas this spring season, so a lot of that rainfall that we had with previous storm systems are actually helping today's storm system. Because the dew points are very high and elevated because of the moisture level in the environment today. All the moisture in the ground has to come back out of the ground somehow, and it is definitely a very moist environment today. So again, we're still keeping a very close eye on this destructive severe thunderstorm warning. This is for Bridgeport and Decatur here into northwest Texas. This is for baseball size hail. The strongest part of this hail core is moving up toward Chico and also Alvord. So if you're in Alvord, Texas, north and west of Dallas-Fort Worth here, you are going to want to be indoors and away from windows. This is a dangerous supercell thunderstorm capable of producing baseball size hail here. Not a joke there at all. That is some big hail. Let's move up here to Oklahoma, and then we'll move over toward Georgia once again and look at those storms. We still have the hailstorm up here. Considerable severe thunderstorm warning, including the lime size hail. This is about to move into Duncan and Marlow, Oklahoma. This is going to move east. This is just to the east of the Lawton, Fort Sill, Oklahoma region. So we're keeping a very close eye on these areas east of Lawton and Fort Sill. This is for Duncan and Marlow, Oklahoma. And this is for 2-inch lime size hail. So we'll keep a very close eye on that storm as it's moving closer towards south central Oklahoma there. All right, let's move back over here now. We have tornado warnings and a bunch of severe thunderstorm warnings ongoing across portions of Georgia and South Carolina here. We do currently still have 2 ongoing tornado warnings. At least both of these are radar indicated, so that's good news. We don't want to see any observed tornadoes. So we're keeping a close eye on this. Let's see here. That is the best radar site that I can have here with this one. Let's go. Okay, there we go. So we have a bunch of severe thunderstorm warnings here. Most of these capable of producing 60-mile-per-hour wind, some quarter-size hail. We have a tornado warning over here just east of Vidalia. Looking at the velocity on this as well. Again, very weak rotation, so that's good news. This is very outflow dominant, which means these storms are producing a very strong rush of wind off the leading edge from the downdraft of the thunderstorm towards the surface, and that is producing some damaging straight line winds in excess of 60 miles per hour here. In addition to that, we have additional severe thunderstorm warnings up here as well, north and east of Statesboro. This is north and east of Statesboro. Statesboro is not in a severe thunderstorm warning. You're in between warnings right now. We'll see if that does change for you. But up here towards Newington, East Still, and Furman, you guys are all in a severe thunderstorm warning here for 60-mile-per-hour winds and quarter-size hail. This is on the border of Georgia and South Carolina. Also, our friends over here in Charleston, South Carolina, you are still in a severe thunderstorm warning, one of the largest severe thunderstorm warning polygons I have ever seen, covering Hollywood and Charleston all the way up here into the Hanahan area and up into Lincolnville, Ladson. These areas are all impacted by the potential of 60-mile-per-hour winds and quarter-size hail here. That will be in the Charleston area very, very shortly. Oh, wow. So there's a lot of warnings ongoing, folks. We have live severe weather coverage here. If you're enjoying the coverage so far, might as well press that like button, the thumbs up button down below here on the live stream. Subscribe to my channel here at Weather on the Go. We're almost to 91,000 subscribers on this channel. If you want to help catapult my channel to 100,000, make sure all of you, all 1,100 watching, subscribe to my channel. We'll have a new weather forecast video tomorrow morning between 8 a.m. and 10 a.m. That's the time frame we always put our videos out on this channel. So we'll have a new video out for you folks tomorrow. All right, let's look here. I'm going to look at the Storm Prediction Centers, see if they have any storm reports coming in. I will relay some of the reports that we are seeing from hail and wind to you as I see them here. So we have had in Texas so far, in the Newcastle, Young County area, we've had golf ball size hailstones reported there near Newcastle. We've had golf ball size hail reported near Bryson, Texas. Ping pong ball size hail confirmed in Lakeside City, Texas, and Wichita County. That's up there toward Wichita Falls. We have already seen 2 to 2.25 inch hail around tennis ball size just about there in the Bryson, Jack County, Texas region. and quarter-size hail in Goose Creek, Berkeley County, South Carolina. So we're seeing a lot of areas there with hail reports coming in. All right, let's get back here to the Dallas-Fort Worth area again. We have a lot of warnings over here. Big hailstorms ongoing over here. The biggest hailstorm of the day so far is, again, north and west of the DFW Metroplex, baseball-size hail. This is a destructive, severe thunderstorm warning. Alabama is not going to see any severe weather until later on. All right, so we'll zoom it out here. We'll show you the timing of the storm since we haven't done that for a while. Again, those 2 tornado warnings right now are both radar indicated, so we're not too concerned about the tornado warnings right at this second, but we'll keep an eye on those tornado warnings. Let's go over here to the HRRR model and show you well, we don't really care about the dew points right now. What we care about is the simulation of the radar. So let's look here at the what the radar could look like. Again, this is not perfect. This is a simulation, a model. This is model guidance of what the radar could look like. So as we go through the next couple of hours, this is 3 o'clock, we can expect additional hailstorms and potential tornado development over here with some of the storms in North Texas. We could expect more supercells to develop as well in northern Mississippi around 1, 2 o'clock. We'll be watching areas north of Jackson and then areas maybe in East Texas that are in north of the Houston Metroplex for the potential there of a couple supercells. Otherwise, we're going to start to see more of this line of storms progressing further south towards Charleston, South Carolina, Savannah, Georgia, and down here toward Dothan into the Alabama region. These storms will sink further off to the south and east as we go deeper into the afternoon. So a couple areas, a lot of areas across the deep south we're keeping a close eye on. This is 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock, 6 o'clock, dinner time frame. That mesoscale convective system we're seeing in Georgia there and southern South Carolina will progress off the southeast coast and into the Jacksonville area and into portions there of Savannah, Georgia there as we go into the dinner time frame. We are watching areas up here toward Birmingham, Tuscaloosa, northern Mississippi, northern Alabama after about 5, 6 o'clock. Could have some nasty storms up here producing wind, hail, and tornadoes as we go in towards the late afternoon, early evening. Big hail producers back here in Texas by 5, 6 o'clock as well. This is mainly south of DFW. Toward Waco and down toward Austin. We'll keep a close eye on that. Additional hailstorms up near the Red River Valley there. Southern and southeastern Oklahoma back towards Wichita Falls as well. 5, 6 o'clock here this evening and afternoon. Deeper into the evening we go. We got a bunch of storms. This is after dark, folks. This is 9 p.m. This is mid-evening here. Big storms developing from Austin all the way through Louisiana, Mississippi, into portions of Alabama and western Georgia. Any one of these storms will be capable of producing big hail over 2 inches in diameter, that is hen egg size or larger, possible tornadoes, and some 75 plus mile per hour wind gusts. We could be seeing some significant damaging winds with these storms by 9 o'clock, progressing toward the midnight time frame, and we could see these storms kind of cluster up and grow upscale. We could have one cluster of storms over here into the Montgomery area at midnight, another cluster and some semi-discrete supercells into the Arklatex region back here. So a lot of different waves of showers and storms. You just want to be weather aware across the deep south from Texas all the way across the southeast toward the Carolinas today. Multiple areas of dangerous severe weather will be likely with these storms. Yeah, Madison, the Florida Panhandle, we'll see some storms tonight, but I think tomorrow, let's go back to the 12Z here, 12Z run of the HRRR model. Looks like tomorrow is your better chance for severe weather there in the Panhandle of Florida. So let's fast forward to like tomorrow. Here's tomorrow morning. You can see, we could have maybe a complex of showers and storms moving through. If not, maybe just some more storms later in the day. We could have a couple rounds there for areas of, say, Tallahassee, Panama City, Pensacola, Apalachicola, over there towards Jacksonville, those areas in Florida there. A couple waves, maybe one around sunrise or shortly thereafter, and then a second round late morning into the early afternoon. And after that, maybe even a couple more storms toward dinner time. So there may be 2 or 3 rounds of storms in northern and central Florida as we go into tomorrow. So we'll keep a very close eye on those. All rounds will be capable of producing damaging winds and hail. I think that'll be your main threat tomorrow. In Florida, North Florida, will be wind and hail. So 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts, quarter-size hail, followed by a low potential for tornadoes. Here's tomorrow's outlook for the Storm Prediction Center. They will be updating this here. Actually, I believe they just updated it. Let me make sure that is the case. I think they just recently updated this a little bit ago for tomorrow. They did. So this is the latest outlook from the Storm Prediction Center for tomorrow. We have a slight risk of severe weather in some of the same areas that are actually seeing severe weather today. So for southern South Carolina, south central Georgia, into northern Florida there, this does include the Charleston area, Savannah, Georgia, to Brunswick, west to Albany, Georgia. Into Florida, we're talking about Jacksonville and Jacksonville Beach, Palm Coast, almost to the Daytona Beach area, Apalachicola, Tallahassee, Panama City there, Gainesville, Live Oak, Fruit Cove, the Ocala area, and then back towards Cedar Key. So the Big Bend area of Florida there, that's probably the area most favored with that level 2 out of 5. That slight risk of severe weather on Friday. You can see the tornado risk tomorrow is a 2%. From Mobile all the way over here into Gainesville, Jacksonville, Tallahassee, Apalachicola, Panama City, Pensacola, all those areas in Florida have a 2% chance of a tornado there tomorrow. And then you could see that greater chance moving up even into the Wilmington, Jacksonville, North Carolina area too. So that's kind of the look at tomorrow's risks for severe weather. After tomorrow, we will take a respite from severe weather, at least widespread severe weather, for a little while. And I definitely need the rest. I need the rest because it's been an active week for severe weather, that is for sure. It's been a tiring week of severe weather, that is for sure. All right, so we're still monitoring some big storms over here. We still got so the baseball size hail is no longer, but we still do have a considerable severe thunderstorm warning here north and west of the DFW Metroplex for 2-inch lime size hail and 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts here. We're keeping a very close eye on these storms just to the north and west of the DFW area. And we have another storm over here just to the north and east of Graham, Texas. This is for ping pong ball size hail. And 50-mile-per-hour wind gusts. This is heading up toward Bellevue and east of Henrietta, Texas. Yeah, if you folks have not subscribed to my channel yet, make sure all 1,000 of you watching have subscribed to this channel. Press the like button down below so we get more people in here on the live stream. I really appreciate that. Thank you so much. We're almost to 90,000 subscribers. Let me see how far we are away now. 91,000 rather. We are 60 people away. We are 60 people away from hitting 91,000. So if you want to help me reach that here on the live stream, that would be awesome. I appreciate that. I appreciate that. All right. We still got that dangerous hailstorm up here east of Lawton, Fort Sill, up toward Duncan, Texas. This is a considerable severe thunderstorm warning here for 2-inch hail, for lime size hail and 50-mile-per-hour wind gust here near the Duncan area up toward Marlow. So we're keeping a very close eye on this storm. This is, we put it in motion here. The biggest part of the storm, the hail core of it, at least the biggest hail, is going to go, it looks like just west of Duncan, missing Duncan to the west, but heading right up there to Marlow. So I think if Duncan doesn't see the biggest hail, I think Marlow, Oklahoma will see the biggest hail here. Also the central high area and Bray will start to see that as well up here into southwestern Oklahoma. And then we got that one storm down here north and east of Abilene. This storm is capable of 60-mile-per-hour winds and quarter-size hail. That storm is near and south of Albany. That is heading toward Breckenridge in Moran, Texas. So we'll keep a very close eye on that one as it moves over those areas over the next few minutes. So some damaging hailstorms possible in Texas right now. The good news, folks, good news, I don't see any tornado warnings here, I don't believe. Down here in the south. We do, however, have a tornado warning in Iowa. What is happening up in Iowa here right now? So we have a tornado warning up here in Iowa, north and west of Waterloo near Charles City, Iowa. We have a tornado warning. An observed tornado is on the ground in Iowa here. Law enforcement confirmed tornado way up here in Iowa, Charles City, moving southeast at 15 miles per hour. So if you are in the Charles City area there in Iowa, we have a tornado on the ground confirmed by law enforcement here. So a kind of a surprise tornado warning up here in Iowa right now. Thank you, Snowies. I appreciate that. Yeah, the Vidalia warning, the tornado warning for Vidalia has expired. That's good news. You are right. You're correct about that. Yeah, folks, guess what? We are 40 now. We're 40 subscribers away from 91,000. Awesome. Thank you so much. If we get 40 more people at least to subscribe here, we'll hit our stream goal of 91,000. I appreciate that. And I'll refresh the storm reports page. We have additional storm reports coming in. We have 2 tornado reports today so far. And both of those are in Georgia, in Plainfield, in Dodge County, Georgia, and Little Ocmulgee as well, into Wheeler County, Georgia. Both are with trained weather spotters, at least on one of those. But we do have that tornado warning up here in Iowa right now. Keeping a very close eye on that one. Again, we have just a weird tornado warning here in Iowa. Let's look at the velocities on this. Yeah, there be the tornado right there. Right there to the south and west of Charles City in northern Iowa. And that will be heading off to the south and east toward Nashua. So that will be moving toward Nashua, Iowa very soon. All right, so we'll keep a close eye on that. That tornado, thankfully, is moving very slowly and mostly over open areas. All right, we got a whole smattering of severe thunderstorm warnings down here still into the South Carolina, Georgia area. Look at all of these storms. These are some big storms down here. A lot of rain-cooled air down here into portions of Georgia right now. I mean, this is complete chaos with a lot of severe thunderstorm warnings down here. Mainly 60-mile-per-hour winds and some quarter-size hail, but we're still seeing a ton of rain and wind with these storms down here into portions of Georgia and South Carolina right now. Crazy amount of storms. Yeah, we see some back building back here, so I would not be surprised if some of these storms back that were severe warned earlier on today in the Americus region in Georgia that when we started the stream about an hour or so ago, or almost 2 hours now ago, that we have more warnings for these storms. These look pretty impressive here to the west of Americus. These may start to produce some wind and hail as well again. South of Columbus and over toward Americus, Georgia, we'll keep a very close eye on that. And some of these down here ahead of the main line, we'll have to watch those toward Tifton and Albany, Georgia. If those start to become stronger, they could become severe warned over the next few minutes or so as well. A lot of these are mainly producing wind and hail, but we'll keep a very close eye on that. Because we did have a lot of tornado warnings earlier on today into Georgia with a lot of those storms back near Americus earlier and then over toward Vidalia. All right, back to Texas we go. We're looking here at the hail. Yeah, look at this storm up here. This is just, let me see if I could turn on this. Okay. Trying to get the best radar sight here. All right, this supercell just to the south of Henrietta and west of Bowie is looking a little bit suspicious with a potential hook trying to develop on this as well. We'll have to keep a very close eye on that. This one is capable of producing either anywhere from quarter to ping pong ball size hail, and that will be heading up towards Bellevue. So if you're in Bellevue, Texas, north and west of Bowie, this is going to be producing some big hail, either quarter size to as much as ping pong ball size hail with this storm over the next several minutes. So we'll keep a very close eye on these hailstorms as they move up towards the Bowie area, but also Bellevue. We also still have that considerable severe thunderstorm warning there in the north of Bridgeport and Decatur. This one is producing a lot of hail too. Let's look at how tall, again, some of these storms are. Very impressive they were looking earlier here with the echo tops. And yeah, very impressive. Look at the storm way over here. We're farther away from the radar site here, but look at that. North and east of Abilene, 58,000 feet, folks. That is literally almost a mile up in the atmosphere. A mile up would be 60,000, so we're not that far away here from that. That's some impressive height on the storms there. Very impressive. What map am I using? This is Radar Omega. Radar Omega. This is a radar. This is not a map right now. This is a live radar. Rhonda's asking about what about Central North Carolina? I don't think Central North Carolina is going to get too much today because a lot of this back here, a lot of these storms into the South Carolina is pretty much producing a lot of rain-cooled air out here. So I don't expect a lot up into the Carolinas. A lot of right now up into Central North Carolina, there's really nothing happening. So we're fine there for today. Tomorrow, maybe a little bit more severe weather in North Carolina toward the Wilmington area. But if you're in Central North Carolina today, you're fine. Let's look at the storm up here again, east of Lawton and north of Duncan now. This is looking very impressive here with the hail signature on this storm. So the hail core is now just about to move into Marlow. It went west mainly of Duncan. Duncan, you might have seen some big hail, but I think the biggest hail went just to the west of Duncan here in southwestern Oklahoma, moving up here into the Marlow area. So this is highway, this is, what is this, County Road 7, up toward County Road 29. We have some golf ball size hail with this storm. So some big hail with this storm over the next, this warning goes for the next 7 minutes. So we'll see. I'm sure they will extend this with the way this hail core looks. So they may extend the warning up here toward Rush Springs and toward Lindsay up here into Oklahoma. And that's actually getting very close to the southern side of the Oklahoma City metro area. Yeah, folks, if you want to subscribe here to my channel, we are only 23 people away from 91,000 subscribers. So thank you. We are only 400 likes away from 1,000. So I appreciate that. Make sure to smash that like button and subscribe if you haven't already. All 800 of you. Appreciate it. We've been live for about 2 hours now, covering this severe weather and looking a little bit at the forecast. And we're keeping a very close eye on these storms. We still have that tornado, I believe, on the ground up here into Iowa. I believe so. No, we don't. The tornado warning has been allowed to expire for now up into Iowa near Charles City. Let's look at the velocity on this again. Yeah, that's very weak, so there's nothing up there now. So that tornado that was on the ground in Iowa is no longer, so that's some good news. You guys up there in the Hawkeye state of Iowa are A-OK now. That was kind of an odd tornado warning, to say the least. So just between South Carolina and Georgia, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We have 9 severe thunderstorm warnings just in Georgia and South Carolina. We have 1 severe thunderstorm warning in southern portions of Oklahoma, and we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 severe thunderstorm warnings in northwest or north central Texas right now. So we have a lot of warnings ongoing here across the U.S., and all of them are severe thunderstorm warnings. Currently, we do not have any tornado warnings ongoing, which is some great news, but that definitely may change later today. Still some big hail here that has crossed over Highway 81 now. That was with our baseball size hailstorm earlier. Still producing those 2-inch lime size or hen egg size hail there. Considerable severe thunderstorm warning. This is for the Alvord area. So if you're living in Alvord, Texas, north and west of the DFW Metroplex, we just got done with a hailstorm there. That's actually moving up toward Roston. So if you live in Roston, Texas, north and west of Denton, you may start to see some big hail out of that storm. Another storm to the north and west of that one is toward Bellevue. This is for golf ball size hail, potentially up to golf ball size hail and ping pong ball. So we're keeping a very close eye on that one. And then the one down here towards the Brecken Ridge area in Moran, that one's looking interesting from just a supercellular standpoint, very close to the radar site here. Looking at the velocity from this one may be interesting because it's by itself and it's already trying to develop a little bit of an appendage here. If that continues, I would not be shocked if this becomes our next potential tornado producer. We'll have to wait and see. Look at the kidney bean shape of that supercell there. The hail core back there south of Albany and northwest of Moran, that's headed right towards Brecken Ridge over the next several minutes here. So, and you can see where the hail would be. The strongest part of the hail would be right there, just south of Albany and heading right toward Brecken Ridge. So if you live in Brecken Ridge, the storm continues to intensify. You may see a severe thunderstorm over the next several minutes there, getting closer to your vicinity. Yeah, we're now 5 subscribers away from 91,000. I appreciate all of my new subscribers on the channel now. Thank you so much. All the older subscribers that have been here and been with me since day one, I appreciate that. Everybody who's been viewing me today, appreciate it. Thanks for the support. Thank you to Snowy's Photography for modding. I appreciate you as well. And everybody joining in the chat and the live stream everywhere. Thank you. All right, so we got an extension of that severe thunderstorm warning now up here into Oklahoma. So let's look at this one east of Lawton. We have a very big hail core with this. We got ping pong ball size hail now. This includes the severe thunderstorm warning for Rush Springs, Lindsay, and all the way up almost to the Norman area. So we're keeping a very close eye on that there into south central Oklahoma. So this is for the next 47 minutes. It was over the Marlow area. It's moving northeast pretty quickly at 50 miles per hour here. So ping pong ball size hail, and this is actually right over Marlow and heading up there toward Lindsay and Rush Springs currently. And we can see the velocity on this is, again, we don't see any rotation with that. But looking at the hail here with the vertically integrated liquid here, this basically just shows where some of the colder part of the storm is, where the hail core could be, and that is literally right over Marlow and heading up there towards the north and east. We'll put this in motion to show you where this is headed, and this is generally headed towards right between Rush Springs there and up toward Lindsay in Oklahoma. So we'll keep a very close eye on that storm. And again, tons of big hail down here as well into Texas. The hail core from this storm northwest of the DFW Metroplex just crossed over Highway 81. This is going to be approaching Gainesville, Texas very soon. So if you live in Gainesville and you're watching me here live, we may start to see the potential for some big hail up there very soon if this storm continues to hold on here. So we'll keep a very close eye on that storm, and we'll alert you if that continues to have severe warnings with it. All right, give me 1 second here, folks. Let me see something real quick here. Sorry, I'm looking more here at the storm reports and stuff. Just a second. All right, they did allow that to expire here. We'll keep an eye on that. For the Dallas-Fort Worth area, right now, most of the storms are off to your west. I can't promise that will stay the case all day long. I actually do think some of these storms will eventually move through and develop near the McKinney area, Plano, and Dallas-Fort Worth and Denton very soon. Let's look at what the latest HRRR model is showing for the potential storms down here in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. So if you're watching me from Dallas-Fort Worth, this is the latest 17Z. This is just updated here at the top of 1 o'clock, so like 30 minutes ago. It's pretty relevant still. So if we're looking here at that, those storms that are developing back toward Abilene and towards the Gainesville and Wichita Falls region, those supercells will be tracking east and northeast over the next couple hours. That means the Fort Worth and Dallas area, including downtown Fort Worth, downtown Dallas and Plano and McKinney, Texas, Denton, all these areas there near the immediate suburbs of Dallas, Fort Worth. You guys will all see the potential for some damaging hailstorms over the next few hours. And then it looks like the tendency will be for storms to fire up further south toward San Angelo and Brownwood, and then heading toward the I-35 corridor toward Killeen and Waco, Texas very soon as well. This is by late afternoon. And then you could see a lot more of the storms moving down towards the southeastern and eastern Texas region, towards Austin, Waco, Tyler, Texas, and toward the Houston area. Mississippi, Alabama, again, right now we're waiting for storms to develop. It looks like the next hour or two we could have a couple storms develop. That could lead to even more development near Tupelo. Over here toward Birmingham, Tuscaloosa, we'll keep an eye on that by about 4 o'clock. Some big storms over there between Tupelo, Birmingham, Tuscaloosa, maybe the Greenville area there in Mississippi. Some of those storms could pack a little bit of a punch there with wind and hail. Further east, Georgia, Florida, and the Carolinas. You can see here we're looking at the 2 o'clock hour. This big complex of storms will dive off to the south, eventually on a weakening trend as it moves off the southeast coast, but that won't be weakening until really early on this evening. And I think some of those storms might actually move down closer to Savannah, Georgia, Brunswick, and then eventually the Jacksonville area and Tallahassee area as we get into the 6, 7 o'clock hour here this early evening. So region by region, that's kind of what we're seeing with the timing of the storms over the next several hours. So hopefully that gave you a little bit of a rundown of what to expect and what the radar could look like. Again, this is not a perfect science. Weather models can be wrong. That's why we have to rely on the latest surface observations as well. Basically, what I'm saying is nowcasting severe weather is in progress. Forecasting severe weather is still there, but nowcasting is that's where you get the latest data. That's what we're seeing here. So, all right, so we got a new severe thunderstorm warning. This now includes the Gainesville area. So if you live in Gainesville, Texas, the I-35 corridor, this is north out of the Fort Worth and Dallas area. So this is Gainesville, Texas. You do have a severe thunderstorm warning. This is a considerable severe thunderstorm warning tag for 1.75-inch golf ball size hail and 60-mile-per-hour winds. So we got some big hail and wind coming here toward Gainesville. This is including Roston and over here toward Valley View, Bolivar, and also the Sanger region, and then over here toward Pilot Point and Oak Ridge. All these areas here, you may start to see 60-mile-per-hour wind and a golf ball size hailstones there up toward Gainesville. This will actually be moving further towards Gainesville and away from Denton. So Denton, you may have a light to moderate rain shower. Maybe if this develops into a thunderstorm here in the next few minutes, we may have a storm developing and moving toward Denton, Texas. But that is not severe warned. We'll keep a close eye on that one. Wow, look at the big hail over here toward the Bowie region. We got some ping pong ball size hail, and honestly, this could be even bigger than that. So whether we're even seeing several instances of some big hail here, or we're just seeing some even bigger hail than what the warning shows. I think this could actually be a little bit bigger than ping pong ball size. Maybe up toward golf ball size, potentially. That's heading toward Bowie and Bellevue, Texas. That will be a very big hailstorm there. And then we're watching that supercell and maybe another one that may go severe warned. This one is going to be the one the closest to the Dallas-Fort Worth area that we see west of Weatherford and between Breckenridge and Weatherford toward Mineral Wells. these areas. We're going to be watching this storm over here. If this gets stronger, we'll see that potentially producing some hail very soon. We can see the echo tops on this storm is starting to grow, and let's go back to the last couple of radar scans. You can see that that storm blew up from almost nothing a few radar scans ago to literally, let's see how tall it is now here. We got like 43,000 foot storm tops on this, so pretty big storm. And then even behind that, that one's 54,000 feet. So we're seeing some pretty tall storms out here. And again, that is because we have just such a instability driven atmosphere today. We have a lot of instability in the atmosphere. A lot of these storms are really capable of producing some big hail, over 2 inches in diameter in Texas and Oklahoma today, and some wind, and also a tornado threat is still there as well. If we look at the tornado threat here in Texas, the tornado threat here is 5%, and that does include the greater probability of 5% for McKinney, Plano, Dallas, Fort Worth, all the way down I-35 to Waco, Killeen, Round Rock, Austin, Brownwood, College Station, and then moving into East Texas toward Tyler and Longview, and then up here toward Paris, Texas, and Sulphur Springs. So we're seeing a large area here of that, 2 to 5% chance of tornadoes today. So there is a tornado threat, even though we're seeing the hail right now. All right, let's move over here back into Georgia and update you on what is happening over here. Some of the severe weather is moving closer to the Savannah, Georgia region as we speak. These are mainly producing 70-mile-per-hour winds with a tornado possible tag and $half size hail here. This is moving closer to Savannah, Georgia. This is moving into the Pembroke area and Glenville and also the Hinesville region. This is into southeastern portions of Georgia, south of Statesboro. So southeastern Georgia, we're seeing a line of severe weather here, currently producing the potential for 70-mile-per-hour winds and $half size hail with a possible tornado with these storms. There we go. That's probably the best radar site to see here. Yeah, look at that big old line of storms here. So if you live in Savannah, Georgia, or the Brunswick area in the next few hours, you're going to start to see some big wind moving your way. The storms near Fort Worth are heading from southwest to northeast. So back into Texas, those storms, I didn't see your chat till now, but those storms back into Texas are moving from southwest to northeast currently, but they will be back building towards Abilene. So expect additional severe warnings closer to the Dallas-Fort Worth area as we go deeper into this afternoon and into the evening hours. I would expect that. We got more severe thunderstorm warnings just coming out for 60-mile-per-hour wind, 70-mile-per-hour wind here. So 60 to 70-mile-per-hour wind is the name of the game over here, over into South Carolina and Georgia. Most of southeastern Georgia, it appears, will see a severe thunderstorm of some type over the next couple of hours as this really starts to ramp up. We look at the instability. Let's go to the HRRR model here. Looking at the instability for our friends here in southeastern Georgia, and we're still seeing some pretty strong instability developing here as a one. Let's go to the 2 o'clock hour. So let's go one more slide over here, 2 o'clock, and you can see the instability here is there. So like I said, all you need for severe weather is 1,000 to 2,000 joules per kilogram. Savannah, Georgia, at 2 o'clock here is approaching 2,500. joules per kilogram. That is moderate instability. So that is plenty of energy or thunderstorm fuel for these storms to continue to remain severe and produce anything from damaging winds to hail and tornadoes. And you can see the timing here. That line of storms will continue to drop south and east through Savannah and toward Brunswick, and then eventually Jacksonville, reaching your area after dinner at about 8 o'clock. So we'll be watching out as far south as Jacksonville, Florida here later on. All right, new warning just came out here. Let's get back to the actual radar here for the Savannah, Georgia region. We have a severe thunderstorm warning for Savannah, Georgia, Georgetown area. So we have 60-mile-per-hour winds and tornado possible tag on this. And this does include for the next 50 minutes, Savannah, Georgia, and Georgetown. in extreme southeastern and coastal Georgia here. Anybody watching me from Savannah, Georgia or Georgetown, Georgia right now on the live stream? Yes, 91,000. Thank you, Nina, for the support. Yes, thank you guys so much. We are at 91,000. We're at 91,000. We're getting closer. We're getting closer to 100,000 subscribers. If you want to help out, make sure to subscribe to the channel. I would love to hit 100,000 subscribers by June. If you want to help me get there by June 1st, make sure to subscribe to the channel here. Tiffany Ingram, Savannah area here. So are you seeing any dark, look, if you look out your window in Savannah, because you are under a warning, so make sure you're staying safe there. But if you look to the west of Savannah, Georgia, you may start to see some darkening skies over there, maybe some flashes of lightning. You want to remain indoors as the storm draws closer. This is actually moving to the east at 35 miles per hour. So 60 mile per hour winds and some penny-sized hail is going to be your hazard from those storms there in the Savannah, Georgia area. Back to the west, we have more warnings like I thought there was going to be. Look at that, folks. I am correct all across the board here today. I told you, these storms earlier on in the live stream, if you're here, I said these storms back toward Americus are probably going to be severe warned, and I was right again. Look at that, 60 mile per hour winds, quarter-size hail near Americus and just south of there. And then just south of that region in toward the Cuthbert and Shellman, Georgia area, we have 60 mile per hour winds and quarter-size hail possible there as well. Hey, I'm new to this area. Can you tell me about Columbus, Fort Moore area, please? I don't know about, well, the Columbus area right now they don't have any warnings. You guys are just seeing some heavy rainfall right now. There's no severe thunderstorm warning for Columbus as of now. Just some heavier thunderstorms. Obviously, for a thunderstorm, you want to be indoors, but the severe weather is off to your south. The Hinesville area is completely dark. Yeah, the Hinesville area is going to start to see some pretty big storms here within literally the next couple of minutes. The Hinesville area, you're right on the edge. Hinesville down to Midway, Georgia. We're seeing some pretty big storms coming in. We actually have 70 mile per hour winds actually moving through the Glenville region right now. So if you know where Glenville is, west of Hinesville, that's moving right toward your area there. So if you live in Hinesville, you should expect 70 mile per hour winds with these storms. As the storm draws closer. This is kind of like this is a little bit of a bow echo, kind of. You can see kind of the leading edge of all the storms here. You can kind of see it bulging out a little bit like a bow echo there. That's the apex of the line of storms. That's where we could see the most impressive winds, over 70 miles an hour, and that will be moving right in towards Hinesville and eventually toward Georgetown and Savannah, downtown Savannah, Georgia, on the coast there as well. And I'll zoom out for you folks and put this in motion for a couple of seconds here to show you what the storms look like. Again, a big complex of storms moving through the southeast coast right now. Seeing a lot of weather happening with a lot of widespread wind damage possible and a lot of hail and tornado potential as well. That severe thunderstorm warning in Savannah, Georgia has a tornado possible tag on it, so that means there is still a chance that we do have a spin-up tornado even on the leading edge of this line. You can still have spin-up tornadoes on the leading edge of lines of storms. That can still happen. Okay, gotcha, yeah. Steve James says, checking in from Savannah here too. Getting darker for sure. Yeah. Make sure, again, Steve, that you are indoors because these storms are moving in very quickly here into the Hinesville region. Hinesville is just minutes away from reaching your area. The leading edge, you will probably see the wind moving into Hinesville here. Let's time this out real quick for the Hinesville, Georgia region to show you when the leading edge of these storms will be moving in here. 14 minutes. So you're about 14 minutes out from seeing 60 to 70 mile per hour winds potentially there in the Hinesville, Georgia area. So if you're watching me from Hinesville, you are about 14 to 15 minutes away. The leading edge of storms from the Georgetown area and Savannah, Georgia, will time these storms out too for you as well. Into the Georgetown area, you're about a half hour or so away. The Savannah, Georgia area, you are about 40 to 42 minutes away. So if you are in Savannah, Georgia right now, you are 42 minutes away from the leading edge of these storms. The leading edge is where you get the big rush of wind that comes down from the downdraft of the storm and then the heavy rain that follows. That is what we're seeing. All right, so let's go back here to Texas. We are still monitoring some hailstorms up here and into Oklahoma as well. Let's look at these storms and update you on these. Pretty strong hailstorm up here moving in toward the Gainesville region and approaching Interstate 35. Considerable severe thunderstorm warning for golf ball size hail here. This is the hail core is actually moving into the Valley View area in Bolivar very soon. Looks like maybe the strongest part of the storm will go just south of Gainesville. I'd be watching this if I was in Sherman, Texas as well. We got an additional storm back here to the west toward a couple of them toward Abilene here. So the Moran and Breckenridge storm is still capable of 60 mile per hour winds and ping pong ball size hail. And then we got another supercell that's not warned there west of Fort Worth. To the north there, we have the Bowie area. We have $half size hail and 60 mile per hour winds with this storm. We're keeping a very close eye on that one. And then further to the north of there, into the area of almost to Norman, we have considerable severe thunderstorm warning for the Lindsay, Oklahoma region approaching the south side of the metro of Oklahoma City for 2-inch hen egg or lime size hail. That'll be moving closer to Norman, Oklahoma very soon if that holds on over the next half an hour or so. All right, so that's an update over there in Oklahoma and Texas. Let's go back over here to our friends into Georgia, as we're keeping a close eye on all of these storms here. Let's see here. We turn the storm reports on real quick to see if we have any of that going on here. All right. Yeah, so we're still seeing a lot of these storms producing a lot of rain. These are very high precipitation storms. They are moving into an area that is very, very unstable. We have a lot of moisture. Dew points are in the 70s here this afternoon. So we're seeing a lot of rainfall with these storms as well. So make no mistake about it, folks. These storms are going to be producing a lot of heavy rainfall, probably 1 to 2 inch per hour rainfall rates at times. A new warning just came out here into Georgia. This is near Baxley and Alma. So if you live in Nichols, Alma, and Baxley, Georgia, you have a potential for 60 mile per hour winds and quarter size hail here. So be watching out for that. And we'll put this in motion for our friends in the Savannah, Georgia region as well. Yeah, folks, if you haven't subscribed to my channel here, again, all 600, 700 of us watching, if you haven't subscribed, make sure to do so. A new weather forecast video will be posted tomorrow mid-morning around 8 to 10 a.m. Central Daylight Time, as we always do on this channel. I cover southern Canada, the entire United States, and the tropics as well. We'll be doing winter weather live streams this upcoming winter. We'll be doing severe weather live streams much like this the rest of severe weather season, and when we have severe weather, and tropical storm hurricane live streams. So if you want to be a part of that, make sure to subscribe to the channel here so you get much more information here on this channel for that and much more coverage. All right. Yeah, we're still watching all these storms back here to the west. All right. So what I just turned on here was actually a cool feature that you have here on the Radar Omega app. And this is actually showing how many power outages we have in the state of Georgia right now from these storms. So what I'm looking at now is the power outages. We have 38,000 people without power here roughly in Georgia right now. And most of this is across, I would imagine, south central Georgia that are being affected by this big MCS, this mesoscale convective system. South Carolina, we have 22,000 people without power currently. So we have a lot of people without power there. Into the state of Texas, we have around 6,100 people without power. And some of that may just be, with maybe, it's pretty hot down in Texas, maybe heat demand because temperatures, I believe today are into the, or let me look real quick. Let me turn that off and look at the temperatures. I think a lot of that is just your everyday power outages that happen, but I think some of that could be from our storms today as well, especially in Georgia. Here, let's look at these storms here. Let's zoom it out and actually show this on the satellite imagery. You guys want to see that? Let's see what it looks like here on the satellite. We're going to look at the infrared satellite imagery, the long wave IR. Look at that, folks. That looks cool, doesn't it? Look at that. So what this is basically the overshooting tops of the storms. The brighter the color here, the stronger the part of the storm is. So look at that MCS here into Georgia there. And all of this is literally blow-off cloud cover from our big mesoscale convective system here across South Carolina and Georgia. And actually some of that cloud cover spreading up into the Carolinas. So if you're watching me from North Carolina, the Charlotte area, Wilmington, you guys are probably wondering where all the clouds are coming from. That is actually blow-off cloud cover from our storms, our severe weather down here in Georgia and South Carolina. Look at the real bright cloud tops down here across Oklahoma and Texas. Look how much brighter it is over here than it is in the Georgia and South Carolina. You know why that is because we have a lot more rising air back here. So that means the air is legitimately just rising as fast as it can across the Red River Valley here. So you may start to see some cloud cover in western Arkansas from this. You're probably seeing some at least higher level clouds in the Dallas-Fort Worth area from some of these storms. And then some cloud cover down here into Houston, just some additional showers trying to develop down there. So that's kind of cool, just showing you the IR satellite here and what it looks like. You can see the spin in the atmosphere. Our low pressure system today is all the way up here toward the Ohio River Valley and into the Great Lakes region. So you can see a little bit of spin up there. We see some rain showers up into the Ohio River Valley and Great Lakes region here this morning. That will continue at times this afternoon. All right, so back here in Texas, Gainesville, you need to be in your safe place away from windows. Still looking at a considerable severe thunderstorm warning here for golf ball size hail and 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts in the Gainesville, Texas region. So we're keeping a very close eye on our friends over here in Gainesville, Texas. Let's see here. I'm going to refresh the storm report page real quick here. Let me put this in motion for you. Let me put some of these storms in motion for you here. This is the Dallas-Fort Worth area. We're looking at North Texas here, and I'm going to put this in motion. I'm going to look at storm reports and relay those to you here real quick. Some of the reports coming in for hail and wind and any tornado reports we have. So here's some of the new hail reports we're seeing coming in. We have The Chico, Texas region and Wise County, Texas. Golf ball size hail was reported at Wise County Park, southwest of Chico, Texas. So we have a new report from that for hail coming in. A lot of wind reports. We have a lot of trees down on utility equipment in South Carolina. In Georgia, we have multiple areas of trees and power lines down west of Savannah, Georgia, with those incoming storms, with those 60 to 70 mile per hour winds. And in Georgia, we have trees. We just have a lot of tree branches, numerous trees, and a couple power lines down in Randolph County, Alabama from earlier on as well. Wow. So yeah, a lot of tree damage there into not only like northern and northeast Alabama from earlier this morning, but also into Georgia and into South Carolina from the storms ongoing now. All right, so let's see here what happened. Okay, so we got a new warning here. Where's this at? So we got a new tornado warning that has just now been issued for Georgia. So let's go over here and look at the new tornado warning. Again, we sometimes have these little kinks in the line. This is an observed tornado warning. This is near Nichols and Alma, Georgia. So this is a tornado that is on the ground, and this has been confirmed by weather spotters. So weather spotters confirmed tornado here in Georgia was located over Nichols, Georgia, or 10 miles west of Alma. It's moving very quickly, folks. This is going to be a fast-moving tornado moving to the east at 60 miles per hour. So if you live in areas there of Alma, you need to be in your basement or lowest, most interior room right now, immediately. Yeah, there we go. The tornado, let's look at the latest scans here on the velocity, and you can see the latest scan would have that tornado on the ground moving just through the Nichols area and just near Alma. So just near Alma, that would be where the tornado would be, and that would be pressing towards Patterson, Offerman area. So if you live in those areas there of south central Georgia, we currently have an observed weather spotters tornado right now on the ground. So we're keeping a very close eye on our new tornado warning. It is an observed tornado. Weather spotters confirmed an observed tornado on the ground here. All right, a new tornado warning just issued again, just north and east of that first tornado warning. This includes Alma. Radar indicated. So we're seeing near the Alma region a radar indicated tornado warning here with... This is a storm over Alma moving north or southeast at 40 miles per hour near Alma. So we're keeping a very close eye on this one. And again, if we're looking at the velocity with this storm, you can see that the reds and greens, where the reds and greens come close to each other, that's where we have the most, what we call a couplet. And the tighter they come closer to each other, the better, because that means that's where the tornado would be. So the better environment there would be for the tornado. So you can see here just to the south and west of Alma, that's where the reds and greens are next to each other here. And that's where we currently see the threat for a tornado developing and was observed, at least for a few minutes, in that region. Sorry, I had to let my cat in. My cat will meow relentlessly at my door if I don't let him in. So he wants to know about the weather as well. All right, so we got a new severe thunderstorm warning here. It includes Hinesville all the way down to Darien. This is in the coastal Georgia region for 60 mile per hour winds. The Savannah, Georgia area, we still have the threat for 60 mile per hour winds with a possible tornado tag on that thunderstorm complex as well. You can see a very big line of storms. If you live in Hinesville or Midway, you're just about to see these winds moving into your area as we speak. So we're seeing a very big deal here for winds in Hinesville. And we kind of zoom this area out real quick here. You can see we are looking at the potential here for a big windstorm to move through Hinesville and Savannah, Georgia, right in the next few minutes here. So more wind damage from power lines, tree damage possible with that line as it moves through Savannah, Hinesville down to Midway, and even the Darien area there in Georgia, on coastal Georgia, that would be. So let's see here. All right. Yeah, so if you're in Hinesville, if you're in Savannah, Georgia, you want to be on high alert for the storm. Again, if you are here and enjoying live coverage so far and you haven't liked the live stream, make sure to give it a like down below. Subscribe to my channel. I keep you covered with severe weather live streams throughout the severe weather season, hurricane live streams, winter weather live streams, videos daily on this channel. We did just post a video earlier on today. I appreciate that. Let me see here. All right, so yeah, so we're seeing, let's go back to the velocity signature here and look at our latest tornado warnings. One of them is an observed tornado. The other is a radar indicated tornado. The observed tornado was near the Nichols area and moving south and east towards the Bolin area. So we're keeping a close eye on that. Looking at the correlation coefficient here, it doesn't seem that we're seeing a tornado warning right now with that on the ground. It doesn't look like we have a tornado right now on the ground with that anymore. That could have been just a brief tornado touchdown near Nichols. I think this is actually a kind of occluding and starting to become more rain cool dominant, basically just like outflow dominant, where we're seeing a lot of damaging winds with this. Hopefully that's the case. We'll keep a very close eye on that, although it does still say observe. So, but that's for the next 12 minutes. We have severe thunderstorm warning over here towards the Eufaula region. Eufaula over here toward Cuthbert and Shellman in southwestern Georgia. 60-mile-per-hour winds from this storm and some quarter-size hail. That'll be heading down toward Albany and Dawson very soon. This is all going to be south of Americus. Americus, you're seeing heavy rain. You'll continue to see heavy rain here in southwest Georgia for the next several minutes. And that could enhance the flash flooding potential for you, since you already saw some heavier rain earlier on today in that region. So we're keeping a close eye on that as well. And a close eye on all the storms over here into the Carolinas. Okay, so getting back up here into Texas, we got a new severe thunderstorm warning that has been issued here for the next 60 minutes or so for portions there of the areas west of Dallas-Fort Worth over there towards Mineral Wells and Grafford. Come on. Here, sorry about that, folks. Just give me a second. My cat's messing around with the cords down here. Come on, buddy. Come on, buddy. All right, we're back. We're back. My cat was messing around with my computer cords, and if that continued, then I probably wouldn't be live because my cat would probably unplug my cords. So that's why I had to shoo him away. But I was trying to pick him up to show you guys. His name's Loki, and he's just a gray cat with some white fur on his paws and stuff. He's a gray cat. He's got white fur on his paws. He's a good cat. I have 3 cats, actually. I got 2 girl cats. They're both 2.5 years old, turning 3 this year. One of them is darker brown with stripes. Her name is Willow. The other one is a calico, has a lot of white and brown and black on her fur. Her name is Luna. I can't keep them straight half the time. Luna, and then the other one I was just shooing away that was biting my cords and almost ripping the cords out of the wall he's gray with white fur on his paws. His name is Loki. And so I have 3 cats, and from time to time, if you are live with me, you'll probably hear them meowing at my door from time to time and messing around with my computer cords and fun times. Cats are fun. They keep you aware, that's for sure. All right, so back into live coverage here. Let's go back to Bowie here. In the Bowie, Texas region, we have a big hail core just to the north of the city of Bowie. And actually coming into Bowie, we have another hail core of $half size. That's 1 1/4 inch diameter hail and 60 mile/hour wind gusts. Mystic May? No, I don't. I don't know what that means. I have never heard of that. Yeah, right. Exactly. Art studio, you're right. Yeah, messing with my cords. His name checks out. Absolutely. Yep, that's why we named him that. Yep. So yeah, it happens. They're cats, cats will be cats. So, all right. So up here into the south side of the Oklahoma City area, approaching the Purcell region, we have, this is mainly rural south central Oklahoma. This is for $half size hail. This storm is actually in a weakening trend, so it's not producing nearly as big of hail as what we saw a little bit ago. But that would generally be heading south in Norman. So that storm is something to watch as well. Oh, it is? Okay. No worries, Mystic May. I didn't know what that was. I just never heard of it. Yeah, the updrafts in Texas, the updrafts of these storms are very tall. I mean, we're talking a lot. There's just a lot of rising air today. A lot of instability down here, 3,000, 4,000 joules per kilogram instability. That's essentially why we're seeing all the severe weather like we are. But hey, folks, we have been live here for about almost 3 hours at this point, 2 hours and 42 minutes. So I have not eaten a single thing today. I need to eat lunch, a late lunch. It's after 2. I live in northern Illinois, so it's 2:18 p.m. Central Time. I need to eat lunch. I would love to be live all day long here today, but unfortunately, I cannot stay live much longer as I have diabetes. I have type 1 diabetes. I have to eat food, so I'm probably a little bit different than your average YouTuber that does not have diabetes and can stay live for 12 hours. So that's why I can't stay live as long as I do. So I do go live for severe weather events. I do love going live for you guys to keep you informed on the weather and to give you all the information you need to know about warnings and stuff like that. And we will be doing a video forecast tomorrow, so stick around for that. We will be doing that as well. And again, we'll look at these tornado warnings once more before I do head off here. And it looks like the velocities on this are pretty weak still. So we do have a little bit of stronger rotation trying to develop here north and west of Patterson in 2 areas. You can see the stronger rotation here where the reds and greens come together right there, just north and west of Patterson, and then just east of Alma, a pretty strong area there. So a couple areas of rotation there. 2 separate tornado warnings, keeping a very close eye on those. But for the most part, it looks like this line or lines of storms are producing mostly damaging winds. So that's hopefully is going to be the driving force behind the severe weather. I would rather have damaging winds than tornadoes, but even damaging winds could do similar damage to tornadoes sometimes. So, but yeah, it looks like mainly a damaging wind producer over there towards Savannah and Hinesville. We'll keep a close eye on those through the afternoon. If you guys don't follow me on Twitter, follow me at hweather420 on Twitter. You can get more weather information there. I'll post it here in the chat for you folks, so you guys can follow me on Twitter as well for more weather information on any severe weather or any weather stuff the rest of the year. So I'm going to post that here. I'll just post it and put it at the top of the live stream chat for you folks. Anybody who wants to follow me there on Twitter or X at hweather420, you guys can do so. Additional weather forecast information in there as well. Make sure you're subscribed to the channel so you guys see my face again as we go tomorrow morning strong with another video. We got a new tornado warning here issued that is radar indicated. So this is actually including, I don't even know if there's any towns in here, is there? There we go. So we got the Broadhurst area, Sun Hill, McKinnon, O'Neill, and Manningtown. And then further north and west from there, Rich and Kayville. All those areas, you need to be in your safe shelter there. That is in southeastern Georgia, approaching the coastal Georgia now for the potential here of a tornado with the storm. Otherwise, 60 to 70 mile an hour winds possible from Savannah down to Brunswick. And then we have some severe weather there near Albany in southwestern Georgia. That'll mainly stay wind and hail, but a couple tornadoes possible there. And then just several areas of hailstorms in Texas, including to the northern side of the metro here, including up toward Gainesville and Denton. And then the Bowie area, we actually have tennis ball size hail now with a considerable severe thunderstorm tag there in Bowie, Texas. So we have a lot of severe weather ongoing in Texas as well. And we have golf ball size hail in the Gainesville area. So long story short, if you live all across the Deep South, Texas eastward to the Carolinas and Florida, make sure you have multiple ways to receive watches and warnings while I'm gone here later today. NOAA Weather Radio, great tool to have. Severe weather will be popping up even while I'm not live through the day here. Again, I would love to go live. I do have type 1 diabetes. I have to eat food. We have been live for about 3 hours almost now, 2 hours and 46 minutes. And I need to go eat, okay? So thank you all for joining. Thanks for all the support. Thank you to Snowy's Photography for the modding of the chat. Thank you all for being here and, you know, being interactive in the chat or just watching as well. That is perfectly fine. Thank you so much for being here. I hope to see you all very soon. I'll see you all, you know, in my video tomorrow. And if we have to go live for severe weather coverage tomorrow, very well, we will do so, okay? So thanks for being here. Have a wonderful, safe rest of your Thursday, folks. Yes, it's Thursday. Have a happy rest of your late week out there, and we'll see you all next time. See you in the video tomorrow, folks. Have a great and safe rest of your day out there. Goodbye, everybody.